thing. They are better off because then it does not become non-performing. At least there are performances with those loans. Now fast forward, after the passage of it, the MPP comes to power. Now decides to incorporate what became known as ESLA PLC. Now when they incorporated ESLA PLC, the debt at that time was $2.5 billion, with a view that we'll be able to do that payment. Only for government to incorporate ESLA PLC and now go for bonds. The expectation was that if you go for $6 billion in terms of bond, using ESLA receivables as collateral, you use that money to do what? To retire the debt completely. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. So, with respect, for 8 years, the ESLA receivables could not retire the legacy debt. Even new debt started accumulating. Then comes the John Mahama administration, Ababio. Now with the second coming of President Mahama, if you recall, exactly on the 7th of January after he was sworn in, 2 days later, we started having power problems. You remember that? Then suddenly, our friends in the MPP started blaming President Mahama for bringing back doomsday. It was quite curious. That is a man who just took over barely 2 days, having been sworn in. We have a power crisis on our hands. President Mahama again had to put a team together to see what we can do to keep the lights on. Question, how do we keep the lights on? We needed to go and buy liquid fuel, either diesel, light crude, to help keep the lights on. Now, with respect, these things don't come free of charge. They are quite expensive, particularly diesel. So you have a situation where, from January to date, just one company, we owe them in excess of $200 million. That's so much. You can't keep accumulating that debt. So what do we do? And that is where I say we are caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Look, the budgeted amount of light crude or diesel or liquid fuel that we need for the whole year to keep the lights on is $1.1 billion. That's how much we need to keep the lights on. Would President Mahama take a decision that, oh, I have only 4 years mandate, I don't care, let me accumulate the debts and go home? But as responsible father as he is, together with the finance minister and the governor of Bank of Ghana, do you know what they decided to do first? There are two critical components of fuel pricing in Ghana: the forex side and what we usually call the FOB side. Now, when we look at it, the impacts, we realize that the forex pact is huge. So what the minister decided to do first, that's Minister Atoforsen, decided to do first, is to work on the forex side first by ensuring the stability or appreciation of the Ghana cedi. What did we do with the gold board and all those other interventions? Today we have seen the Ghana cedi move from 15 cedis to almost 10.2. This morning I checked from the Bank of Ghana interbank rates, and it is doing 10.3, 10.2 from 15 cedis. So what has happened now is a significant gain, almost 40% reduction in terms of the forex rates. Now, what's the impact on fuel price? The cascading impact. Now, you notice that as at January 2025, when you go to the pump, a liter of, say, diesel was doing close to 16 cedis. 16 cedis. Now, because of the forex rate, that had come down to almost 10.77 from 16. Even less for the sake of argument, even say 15. So from 15, we have come down to 10.7 and in some places 11 cedis per liter.
Right.
So for you and I, the consumer of petroleum product, we have made almost 4 cedi gain on every liter. So what the finance minister decided to do was to work on the forex side. Having brought that stability and conscious of the fact that we will sustain it for a long time, came the conversation about the 1 cedi. Now, because the consumer is making 4 cedi gain, what government had decided, and with a lot of apology, is to say that you are making 4 cedi gain. Give us 1 out of the 4. Government is not asking for 2. Government is not asking for 3. Out of the 4 cedi gain, government is saying that please, 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 I am caught up in a situation, but I need to cut the lights off. You remember, our friends in the MPP used to tease HE that we are going to have 24-hour doomsaw. You remember?
That one I didn't hear.
Oh, no. In fact, it was the MPP immediately after President Mahama took on. Then they started calling it 24-hour doomsaw. President Mahama doesn't want to leave a legacy of doomsaw. Never. So what he has done is simple. That Ghanaians, out of the 4 cedi gain, by raising of the appreciation of the cedi, which is a government intervention. Remember that the CDJ didn't appreciate it. There had been very methodical intervention from government.
Now, I am asking His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, Your Excellency, good morning. If we pay for that levy, will ECG's bosses still be at post? Since they are causing financial loss to the state, I'm asking, will they be at post? The people that are causing us the mess, will they still remain in their position? I want to know. Me, levy buy. Will be any church in Wotia levy chain. Because on behalf of the ministry, we paid see, one day we paid levy early morning, 30,000 levy. We were transferring 300,000 Ghana cedis for cement from the factory. We paid levy 30,000 in the morning, one go. It means when we talk about that, we go internet, yeah, 30,000 one morning, levy. It means don't be angry because I am asking a responsible question. Nanka mo ema mo dem na die bentina ukunu ni wo shetoles no whisper no ni obi kasa no me ade na we curious because your husband is behaving suspicious and you should be concerned. It na wo na press off on the phone na we oni pakwa on na chat na no fa the phone you madros ahodo awu. Irresponsibility. Yeah. Irresponsible. Only about them. Obani nufu enya ofe. Ne ho nya ofe. Na go internet so pornography. Uti alabasa ha pornogu funso. Na make irresponsibility ho asemo a was na na de baby a ode fa no anya ho ne pese ye hwa ne de preaching neighbor. Irresponsibility. Tiona me wira ho. People who, come to young grofa or market yasumudi. The management market yasuni din any mreadi one baby beyond whatever. Actually, be one munim sa dream fin actually on ye.
Just like I have said before, we have gone around the facilities, have assessed the grounds, and what I can still say is that our brothers and sisters, nurses, should listen to the plea of the ordinary Ghanaians and listen to the plea of all of us to come back to work to save lives. Whatever it is, we can assure them that when we sit around the table, find solutions to those challenges. I am in constant touch with the Ministry of Finance, with my colleague minister responsible for finance, Honorable Atufosin, and we cannot sit around the table alone and find solutions. Everybody must be part. For your information, yesterday all the stakeholders came in. Labour Commission was on board, Fair Wages was on board, Ministry of Health was on board, Ministry of Finance was on board, and our sisters or brothers and sisters from the nurses outfit couldn't turn up. Today we are still looking up to hear from them so that we still sit around the table to find solutions to it. I have consistently maintained that even if one person, one nurse who is supposed to go to work doesn't go, it still has an impact on the healthcare of that particular facility. And so our doors are still open, and we expect that this thing should come to an end immediately. That is my goal.
Let me also take the opportunity to call on our sisters and brother nurses to come back to work. Just like yesterday, I said to one nurse that if you come to the hospital now, you as a nurse, and you are pregnant, you are going to deliver. Because she was a pregnant nurse. What are you going to say? Will you say, I won't deliver today because we are on strike? You'll be shouting, let's all do this. Let's go back to the negotiation table. If it's your auntie, your mother who is sick, what are you going to do? Will you say, I won't take her to the hospital because we are on strike? And when you go to the hospital, who do you expect to take care of your mom or you yourself? So I humbly add my voice to the Honorable Minister that please come back to work and let's continue negotiating. Thank you, everybody. God bless us.
Mobaya madum na ebi ni mu ka se mame mamo abakosem kakra bi wonim obi a wodi MPP edi anim abra na Rollins ewo ha obi entimi nkasa eye Professor Dubuahin ono your friend culture of silence ono no tumi breaki that time obi antumi nkasa obi asro Rollins Adubuahin ene nya kukuduro estane up to Rollins till 1992 that the Adubuahin koi ono kura no okokuma ye no okoya ni modern mo answer ni no ya mfra nkobiem obi am peso aka no kura kire wa oduru wa ozio President Kufuor komienu Akufo-Addo komiansa Adubuahin wokosai mesramu enne bia ba ya ni afi mamo ma yentoto ensamu a enya no kura egu afem afem ni mesramu abokosem nientia President Kufuor ya didn't call second term ni say the first time or the only 4 months between 3 to 4 months and what the year campaign. Now vote to President Kufuor nyaya within that 4 months, no, and yes and no. Ebesa denako. And unti any other President Kufuor as I call second term, oko wini ye. There is a reason. 4 months our year campaign, the performance, and unti ni asade President Kufuor accord. Ebiem oh, ana Akufo-Addo comprensa. Akufo-Addo call first one on your 49.3%. When Timian cross 50 nunti, and I saw call second round, and also a pay a time, and I decided here, Emma Professor Mills, and 23,000 votes, and the president. into a beer person or cultural say yensa ma asumasi nkobie mu a on starting kabakosam amwo bi antie Ekufuado esa court 2012 no wo wini eno mu wi an e court mamuti decision eno osaka sa odie minim se ma wini but some see nyam na me respect court no enti yanko ya hwe Ekufuado performance the first time second time enti ni ade ni call the third time enti so you big performance now to me lose over 2 million na ya sabe ka kira se mo fani panenko na mayedi but emre ni du wa no kura de yabaka mo mate no kura no de yabaka mo mate samu pepawa Ghana for say Mudi kana Japan ba ya betu amamo Musa kwakem fia 9 fia wotwebiem. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? Mama yentie nia efomfo ka. Mama yentie nia Ghana fo ka. Asori dey amuwamu wo mu kasai. E ka utwi. Asori dey amuwamu wo mu kura wo ma betu no e kire so mu kasai. If it's some kind, one tear, I was say, some one tear, Mobajimu Jajireje, any idea Jajireje. Oh, campaign, I bet the papa.
On Power 97.9 FM, the hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana inside politics in a day. If we in city, our 37 Abebese Street, the heart of Accra, Usu, editor in all the 16 regions across the country, north, south, east, and west. Maybe I will be a TVS was at Power 97.9 FM. Tamale Kesmi 107.1 FM, Sansun and Kiligi FM, so our Bolly in the Savannah region, YAW FM, Zeps FM was Zabila in the upper east region. So any Yanma or more Boko FI source 100.1 FM Pusiga air wing pang sampa wende FM Takra the Western regional capital almost so fire sharp 106.9 FM is Yama Elembele Western 100.3 FM if you want your Kobuno region 90.9 FM on Soko and Suma FM so on Crown Quanta have original capital goes in Ananum 92.5 FM station with ambition Aduno FM so a war a year Sound Korea Central regional capital Cape Coast a year Adom Sound so Kotokraba Markets na Rich FM ewo asin fusu yebo fimu na fe ye de ne kire eye Volta regional capital ho a eye global 105.1 FM multi region stations miensa ene kuremo nyi 107.7 FM ewo Kitikrache omofire live Krache West MP Honorable Helen Adjuan Tosuni ni wura Dr. Samuel omoti TV ho if you only call eye Gia second ebuom FM dollar my krum governor of the fall of West Africa oni timi 20 Mugabe Fedi birthday champion eye capacity eye dollar man Alaji Kader Tanko, governor of the father of West Africa. May Allah bless you. Nyame insha no anya okese. Sanso ana mede obobremu KFM pasa omunso ekremu ho. Stations mi ensan enukremu ewo eye Oti region. Ya call landing a GFM radio and Fire Life radio Sanso and United States of America up 68 FM so ekremu ewo ho. Minua Asafo J eye opinion that a scholarship secretariat ano ewo Ghana ha and eye wa happy birthday to you. Respa also so wo eye tema and so wo ye time jombon wo di wo awoda happy birthday to you. And me sorry and menya so many messages if mpanimfo etitru metimi aka say all the cabinet ministers so far so good obia etumi send me message wontimi send yen so no wa frɛ awɔhye me ene abɛm mpanimfo ene wo ma bakɔ adada no ene council of state mpanimfo I mean so much I'm highly excited today since me da sorry no panyin doctor Sian Zoom line obefa phone no afrɛ me son happy birthday to you ho alaji scenario mo ho chief of staff me fa waseda enni ho so best sorry na mpanimfo frɛfrɛw IGP salamu alaikum national security coordinator salamu alaikum mpanimfo amo bie na mechacha mo nyina odokro ye chance wi wakoma mo sumo my way a yakopon obekɔ so ayɛ ehya ɛna yɛ ma woda nyame ɛde afe baako aka me mfie ho ɛna me da so yɛ de ma me re ho yɛ ne sɛ obi ofrɛ me first ɛwɔ me mpa so no ɛya na yɛ me papa ne frɛ me ahomache bia ɛyɛ ma woda na wɔfrɛ me ɛnɛ me sorry me nya saa ɛyɛ kɔ no ne mom ma me tumi frɛ me masa ɛyɛ nso ɛfrɛ me na kyɛ sɛ adɔfoɔ course no ɛyɛ too much ya kyɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ asɛm keto akora deɛ me ka ne sɛ yɛsɛ esie eni kagya eni aseda me ma me Faustina Nelson behwɛ aduane a egu fie ha mintimi mfa waseda nyɛ den endi ma Faustina Nelson nyame enhyia wo na wanyɛ wo kɛse hana oboshi nyame enhyia wo na wanyɛ wo kɛse me nua ba mele nyame enhyia no wanyɛ wo kɛse sanso ɛna I mean me body ne me jahwan na atwe ma jama me ye Grace enu ura lumba nyame enhyia mo ne abusua ni nyina daddy media washing be ubedru office asese a esewani ense wo ka kire medo obi bia ase the management and the entire staff ubedru asese brass band in the trouble no pussy for brass band in the trouble feel but don't you deep or don't you too much I say let you Quasi broadcasting and say if you say there be make say baby I will be ano so some pa ura adwuma mu okra na adwumayefo na ye den agi wa to ura sa surprise brass band a ewo efie mu ha enei sariki awala nentwa a wode baaye dollar man nentwa a wode baaye ma fosina nesi eduane bia mu wo fie ane dwens ni nyina free maame ye ma fosina nesi leading member of the NDC ya ho a ye kese because we mu no ya na ntanye de NC minu akofi asare brako oyare ye da form unya stroke for 3.5 years but we will be a medinachi ama afutu obi ode ma me na aboa me wa brabom pa ba wase kodwo bre won ase me na me sports presenter me ne to kwan bibri yakova world cup yakobo friendly matches yako Austria yako Sweden yako London yako Olympic Games 2004 Athens kakra bi du ba bia wase Mugabe ye ne bokoboko continue to humble yourself na just say we are heading nso enema Abraham te say wo yare no obi ne bo mama ne yenu aba akon kojokin ono wo ye US mene na ne wo land ye tifi ba akom dada ba akom kojofie no say abate ho emfa no kojokin su no fra asante aye achemoda ana abate nsu free ye achemoda ye ba ye to said didi ene ono yenu Samsindin and in your penny sometime and there was celebrating me or your TV ni the entire team as bug members honorable Prince Osaju come boss wa be consumer make us more invisible FM kuma wini this year Prince Osaju come for the first time Nyamisha papa way back in 2000 and yene just over here Jumani my year for 25 good years the year 2008 2009 and Nigeria election see ye be second round and they say me take you over e was London as morning show host and akoju Kofi ye kurekure ma eni age wa kire do amana ye fe ya ni shia pa say enye nipa nyina ni nye stroke omutumi sa banya hode sa ehwe o video no e wo Peace FM na ni su esane me and the wa kire wo do timi a drive aba bedu ha na mini yakobi so nyame shira papa wa kire wo do ko be nyame shira papa we obi a we tiefo
kimpaluta e wo nwum bia aseda nyemo no ori bi twem on se o se na nyame wa se ho wo ga o ti wa se ho no bebrenti ase na nyane se ai se nfomienu e na o masum fidie se o mo twen se wo ba betum
na wantum
na omusum ye na we say yenyin senyin se ye koko baba sia in 5 minutes baba sia na onibako na edane se oba nti oba no o tu na mo ye a se omunim se oma check time no bibia se time bomb to ma check se bidu on no eyi no na se wa se kra nti omutwem ho ana omotete na nyankopon ne ho mkonkon no
ewura ho
ekojina ho ebi no oyi sana vi na nti akwani edu ono ona musa na oko nyankopon susum ana je no nti menyame honhom na aje wo Kristo waidi
kurani mo ye
Kristo nyame me mbedi no hada se achama na manyina
so wayebi
nyame Mugabe
ene wura fia ne se na ho se ne atmosphere ne city wa
eja wo hapa na amanfo chat odo achiro se wa no onso achiro do achire amanfo ene omu jida so na mponchini nwan ene nantwie enye na nka mnu se na eduane we di fia na Muga amanfo achiro do achiro pa na kosoa na bron ho asesa na ene ye dakese emawo na mnim ka se Sauba radio mo ene afi ni 25 years
2nd February 25 years etwem
and you celebrate 25 years
medi eno beba later
wow
so your birthday till me celebrate me 25 years in the radio
yeah
Jenny no be start here Monte 3 room UK cancer ambassador I was had room international ones AG room according to a 2 emobre awo edu baby a former GFA president me uni jacket you call Athens no no that was 2007. Now 7th March 2007 at the Rwanda 35,000 capacity stadium. That day, actually, Anna Brazil versus Ghana.
Friendly match.
No, Governor Love go in 17th minute. And my Ghana to a year. Sunday they can ball grass on the 24th March 2007. And Sunday about Rwanda. Some match in Derek Boatin Booby and Ulilina Eden, Edema. That day was the first day Antoniana, a kicking ball for the Black Stars of Ghana. Inti a one Cosinante ni jacket in Eden, and now what they may. We say Scandinavian countries, no Sweden, Finland, any Denmark, Could we say baby Anna ye one Scandic Anglia Hotel. Minuti was Yana, a year former UN Secretary General, the late Kofiana, or then a Swedish. More a buy or buy an what I say. As a case, you see, show that game and I said, oh, show my papa. Show my champion. Ya break. But you always say you depend on Strodo. And now you third time why are the many aji. Who can say Ghana and England ever bomb match? When sometime a real study one and solid free consultations and them Jama say Mona Yempany from take you over. And then the second one, 2016, Monte Trebaye. More where we be a soup and you be me. Uba obeje fancy pa obi asa abate idamenya
me ti se okonom se Mugabe
okwan na obi ofri Peace FM ofri Despite group a wo ba ho behwe me
ana me tuka hwi na me ba umusan me na blog fi aden na me se me hwe me nua
ene me nua tikese
ana o se unua be na me se Mugabe ana o se o unua na me se o madamfo pa a me ni free na me ti se oba no na se me gina so e babi on se me kasa ma stroke ni bia no na ebeba
oh we got covid and me hu me adio say me hu be 6 months ago
and na dia na Mugabe e ta obi agunukum o me fro buy no na almost na me tie get na chi na so tin side ana na dia no
say no wo she na dia e mo aba na wadwane
me suyo me so buga wo be free mo ati she hodin wo be free
anya me so ye
ufim na yefe
mame ko menu akobesu ko be mu akoba
nuka
ene de ne do ba ha
ene de dem ba ha
ba be ref na atmosphere
me na me susu say me hu bibi atisi
obenye eye Dr. Sian eye Zoom Lion ono so hwe live
muga
odo
good
yes
muga
wachire odo
Mr. Joseph Seja
me so wachire odo
he papa no
wachire odo
me so wachire odo pen pa o
wachire odo wa show love
oh chairman echiao
Medimosis I show love. Wow.
Muga emse mi bora
Deputy Finance Minister Honorable Ampem I show love.
Medimosis even Moses Dogbache.
Thank you. So I show love. Kwabi yonko.
Emse mi bora fi ha no manage pa. This is my first time I'm entering to this house and because me dey energy so nkodu fi ha. Cause me hwe edoma o ha na primitive se Mugabe. Minimum the others are surprised no. Say police officers, inspectors with brass band for Mugabe birthday.
Surprise.
Massa. Na omo asa midim poke kama mekra. Eni aje. Muga nyame ntu nkodem.
Amen.
Oman kwantintini hira sonko na adum mra wo so.
Amen.
Wase for him pale omo. As mani hu na tete ne koda na adwendwene pale abusuafo. Nyankopon mie kwantu bebi akwani na onhunu ngu abusuam mu. Na ma abusuam banbo. Se nyame bo ho ban wo sunsum a ansana ba anika mu a wo ye kese wo ye gifo. Enemre bi mu be fa muga usuban so mu de abobra. Se wo bobra hu ti a afi ye wa afi a wotunye di afishada. Na muga meka chiro se baby awuti wonu wasefo ahokyere amanihu kodanna atete empale mu Yesu di amen awurade nyankopon na ode Israelfo twa apokoko no se awurade no obama odwane wo watamfo anim
amen
ama watamfo betete ato udi soronko Mugabe no enkomo nhye
amen
no se wo ye adomura mu adom se na mebe hu bibi atisei na meka Mugabe ni nyaro mboa mini asa obedwum sei yesi penyu ensa obedwum be ne wa mama sa obedwum
what you say
no say adum bi aba wo so
understand
se wa Nicholas Mo you to know the way everyone is it if they are talking about manager and so managing something Oniama woni adwumayɛfo no bɛyɛ no ɛna bɛkyɛ nipa bɛn woyɛ. Se manager be lose we adwuma na se adwuma nkoyi a if the relationship you have with the workers bɛn na me hu say muga you are leader
capacity
and make I say o boss Jiros onun hoda so why you leader of the company.
I'm grateful to
people will copy you and they will achieve what they want to, how they want to be in future.
Now, only say
you're not media nasi media no and they are celebrating Morgan Kumasi for one.
Yes,
all the media houses.
Madam for Kumasi pa offer me and then unia kuma edin birthday.
I mean check your staff. Mr. Julius Debra.
Yes.
Na enansa oya David Chemia ohun video no. Sana ko viral. And say oh mini so na yare o. Oh. Na yare o.
Ready Edward AC.
Or the question.
Yale na wo yale na enye se wo so na wo yale o. Nyam ebia na bibi beto anu be yowu. E na edu ebi Awurade se odu ko sie kakra. Na emepem we UAP. Nti said odu just nko na eba abrabo mu. E na wo yale o beto mo eje wona so sin first no. E ma odin ayekase.
Amen.
Onyame di.
The first that Emma yarahwefo any yenetiefo any all the media houses. Kumasi FM, Mandisha FM, Paul, una manager ho, ena Alaji Seidu Agungu. Oh, Alaji Seidu Agungu. Yamisha Honorable Dr. Samuel Sapon, Penifu nyina mo Jubilee House. Yakopon Shamana onye mokese. Midibesia na eja adofo ewo ha papa ye maame na Sherry, Eastern Regional Women Organizer, ene adofo a moba maame ma Faustina Nelson. Nyamisha papa ya mami Anita Disuso nyamisha mu nyina sweet mother bibi abako de miniminu ya ba nyina edi ya woda ewoju mo chana greetings to all the family members che obibia nyame asundwe enko obibia na de ye chele ewo ha ene mo bete ye papa Honorable Timothy Atabuade enka na mo bete Honorable Ashiama so enka omo nyina ba be 20 King Nicholas ena eja so akonya kesi no naja ode de aka nyina so ayeden de atoa mo so na mo hu ye ekoso nti kena be de man second in command wono na hwe de ekoso wase ho minchia beni anti W one retired dogbe omo nyina na bishop bisi ye cha omo nyina odona ma show neno Linda Ajemai mi bo din biem Ajemai the security team and here the production team the technical team hey makeup artist for me to me pharmacy the newsroom who need newsroom ho any reception I mean it's Robert too much Nicholas.
Yes. Boss, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Inyaje papa. We share kwanya obek join XYZ broadcasting. Kwanya wafa so ama power 97.9 peja TV XYZ peja no yehuma yenkan show. Nyame show papa. Ye come manager, a friend manager why adwuma. Na wo hwe ha wande wudi wo birthday ya hwe ha workers ni na obia eni age obia ebo wudi hwe ha wa tugu nkofo so nyame show ye papa mempa bone se otwedi ampon yankopon onko so enhraw omma nkwatenten omma wahodi nimdie na koso na fe lead team no na yempem ko yenim wo XYZ broadcasting me yebetumi aka no yenim se bebre na wo kan na mesan so ka se de bia no wo san prema ye nyina so ti koso na pre fma team no na enije no koso na yenye we ese be koso abo adwuma ye de aboa XYZ broadcasting wo hwe television a wo be hu police band and de mbepie mo de omo ye nyina no police band omo bondom papa ni na Mugabe Mase we ye XYZ broadcasting ye premises ha na and dwumedi course area bria ade a ekoso a yeguso bondom enti me koso ye general manager edema power 97.9 FM Mugabe Mase nde odina woda tinadofo nkai no omo hwe ne chi akwan na ende aha de yi papa wasanso atoagu bi mo so na esewani ense de ka kyerɛw nti eyade a yegusu a ekoso se ya yensembre enne no emse yenim se nurses a omo Ghana ha de abetu dwa se omo tuntosu kokko na nurses emo nsema sebiwa omo kan na ne se condition of service eniema na se omo deserve so omo nyan na nkoyie ne nsem bebre but the choir nurses ni bi ye de strike ye nje ntumbi mo so se ye bekɔ no akoye bibi e wo ho nurses no so omo nya abotra His Excellency John Dramani Mahama me pacho ba ye 5 months ani se bi pa bi nhye kire na mu push mo de a Ose munya abotre because you reset Ghana and obe reset health sector no my health worker bi aso mato no enti enne no enam so ye listening government enti o man minister sector minister o hwe health so ade obaye na ende wa ba address issue no papa oni media na kasafa mekoso wo adwumedie no nti yenkwe na yenkotie minister in charge of health Kobna aka menta akando yenkotie ne so nensemo de tudwa efa no ma akoso health ministry titu ye nuanom nurses a omotunto su kokko yesrem munko back to various health centers no na mun yenkodi nkomo ma yentie nsema sector minister de tudwa nbra.
Government commits to continue to engage with the nurses in order to achieve a mutually acceptable outcome in the interest of the public. While working around the clock to resolve the impasse, the Ministry of Health has taken the following steps to mitigate the suffering of Ghanaian patients unduly affected by the strike. The ministry will, in the next few minutes, publish a comprehensive list of facilities to complement facilities where nursing services are lacking and where patients can seek health care. Given the urgency of the situation and suffering of the patients, government appeals to public-spirited retired nurses and midwives to volunteer their services for a brief period pending the resolution of the impasse. Government wishes to stress its readiness to further engage with a view to implementing the conditions of service in a manner that does not dislocate the national budget. We wish to draw attention to the fact that the conditions of service under reference are not captured in the 2025 budget and will completely throw the economy off gear if implemented immediately in the manner it currently exists. We are mindful of the serious economic consequences of unbudgeted expenditure and want to avoid the economic slippages that led to the hardship in the recent past.
Honorable Kobna Kando, Minister in charge of health ministry. Onona yeten in Kanuti. Nessa man deal the two Samni Bebrain says Yano. Abana crado say only nurses in a betina form. Na mu grievances, mu agitations, and some hamuinano, or nimu edin comono mache atutuye. It may be a dreedy nurses and Majidi say free any break call chain and mu number call back to various health centers. Na mo kodi mo juma fi se abana crowd so be engage mo na mo so maye mo ha obi an magiatum na wa ye adwuma mo nya abotre 5 months ani o 5 months ani international mo nya abotre ma ye na bibia ntumi nkonkan kama pa me pa cho be bi edru ye nsembre apomuden hu nya ye beko Solar Natural Clinic Dr. Solomon Apia Kubi osanso ye biochemist or that solar biochemist edwuma na no ye kwa ni nkodi nkomo simadu yembra yeba me hobia so ye beto also doc me ma kwa ba
yo that's the next no mosia eba solar biochemist as your here and ye hwe how back pa sha said na be meka the rise of prostate issues and as a prostate enlargement in Ghanaian men. The entire prostate nancing a one sem kwana ko be fruit adanse me da ho be we na BPH no we no me prostate the entire asha say rise organa what the idea me who say one cause of not the prostate enlargement banner say BPH nan kasa banner Ghana for education from Ghana for shedan tiase eno ntina me wo hia ene brain na the question say one prostate nan kasa boni say senka wo draw I say window natin e say The location no bonus just sitting beneath our bladder. Sabia Johnson Charles Johnson woman polytank ni. And I use a pipe chassis. Process gland in the back e be room say. Senate. It just a blood na pay. Now, ne fashion pipe play back up. Sabi on produce sabi swimming pool na sperm cell and as a conquanti bar a gary mu every bema ho call ba ho bra ware fosia. Na se bema sabi also know you fosia sabi in so be a manager say process gland na nya dwuma yi. There be patch sperm cell no won't mean ko triple jump, won't mean ko high jump. Only ko 100 meters so swimming. Se swimming pool na ama se sabi ka wayase e be da wako. Enti na process gland no sebe ne function won ya immense na mema nko na sebe ye wa de for the process gland no na ni wi ase obey na ne how pie ne nsa sa aye kese eche de senka ne fe no process enlargement no and na process infection se bi bacteria ba betena mu and na process cancer no se ni so asesa every ne ko boy na metiti ide akoya de foforo and na ye hwe bpd can process enlargement no. Now the causes by the entire no doors no say the causes by makoma ko samiensa edin kan no age dependent. I'm yet to see a crown 12 years and now 19 years yes in the deposit I large when the bond dia krenya no na go panya ne sa now ye nyina de ne sesa oh say ye nyina average the minimum age bracket the whole world between 30 to 40 ka aware for America yo and ka the average you see dey mu hia no twice and e pen bebrebe no and 3 times a week. What is about me every 14 or 15 may call once a week. After 50 to 60 maybe a call 1 in 2 weeks. Pension crowd 1 in 3 months. Where shall they go? I will say one I say one or bar tiffy. Now you're near mano. One word near Mamma would or dummy. We say we will dear Biano. There be a median good word in answer. It might be our service or any more winning that walk of show service. That's been. We time then be so said that's been said catching horn aye funya dentia enwane wo digu horn e pro na say break it down pam for biaba the same scenario process gland ni eye nsuo betata na ye use na nya wo use me pa e kese be hu hia mo na wo ye nsuo ni ba na se be ye nyini a se ye definition rate ni e so tina ni nsuo tata ho ache in other words na kwa se wo de nsuo atai ankwa na bare mu ache no na atadi also wo time na mu nya not chemical unstable. More than they say, some mechanism in my process they can enlarge with age. 82 gonna form men enough. You know, Sebi, we saw Canada and Quadi, me quania major. More na ye beja, not positive, so ye use sooner, near use so now so no, a basada propensity and I say, probably Sebe enlarge, not that tendency echo form. It sounds a boa, a banasamba was affected because the two shall be one. Number 2, a fruit and vegetable when they say they are lycopene rich. A fruit and vegetables in color. I would say lycopene when they say for pigmentation, I say macala. Anti fruit and I say atosodie a baby ne color na red and it say sa lycopene boom. It make a watermelon, fresh tomatoes, carrots, grapes. Oh, now feno on sa onions they red no. E ka man sabi ye didi anopa breakfast lunch supper. Na check a cream a salad na ke diafra. Now the tell me say salad copy when say antioxidant. Antioxidant the battery mu a. Na say so sra ni a wo bo bibi hwan. Ti entokwa e ba no ono wage ntokwa na ko wu na temamufo. Ya nya tam ya yere no e maro me ade ani. E sa post it na ye ka ho asem. Oh here salad copy na ban ho ban. Yeah, no say that be because me call restaurant bi na abante bi buy no waje chicken apayas. Kokona ne nse bu ne bono na mo kakra. And ya surface water kakra ni onions kakra. Wait, I come here. What do you mean? Because me aponchi ana masma. Na just say ensim bebre. Ade be boa no abo ne process to ground ho ban no wo so mpe. A sans young fan kind that medication consulting near fanny suban see a dear friend na amasa process gland no ni bambo bia. It be can tanepe na asase kukuru na enlarge. Number 3, a red meat and I say a nama a million coconco. And Kayanya no can process gland and chiwa the ompe. Yes, when you are there, be not many son or could be meant to me, manyat when you chop money. 18 men show no repair upon Chenam, Mayataman, I do a card, do Papa Cotoy, Manya say me chop money. It yes, me to me do Mujana more, na make clear areas no. No question, Bremis, the meant me, you know. Now they are compensating me. Me was certification meant to send me in some way, and I'm not posted enlarge with age. To enlarge with age, like a preacher yen and afi red meat with by yedi ka yen mesan ke kiss your friend white meat and no me fita make insumu namnom on empo rabbit adanko if somebody would make some nantwinam there ka the good preko nama enkaye sense me fita compared to your friend say nantwinam no now since nantwinam container dey friend myoglobin and dey process gland that you are there now is say the confusion is say fancy education ama process na share enlarge na enlarge a sentence pipe be was the is anka wo jonse ka be man ka wo jonse a ke asion day na to hwe na ko wa na ho na so dey enter sa se wo bu so so chim ya asema pipe na bie ama jonse na by bon kai se opposite no kwesi makaba ho ebi residual volume na say of urine fancy wa jonse wie no this all sa ko prum to 15 minutes ya ko aba bon kai se opposite kwesi makaba ho leaking of urine mo se sebe jonse de no anka ho a na leak na ya jonse agu ho bon kai obi anya diabetic we see yade and so jonse more than 3 times and time and atia bon kai so say average urine ankasa no ka o ine ye no 2 hours interval ye ne so no nsuo no to be that 10 p.m. plus 2 hours 12 midnight plus 2 a.m. plus 2 4 3 times adiachi we mo so no anu nsuo no enka 3 hours interval 10 p.m. plus 3 1 plus 3 4 twice and so jonse more than 3 times and sana adiachi abro nya diabetica bon ka say we process gland kwesi magaba ho solution is say wait till the pie friend Prostafet herbal capsules abajaso PROSTA Prosta now the fit account Prostafet herbal capsules your body man say jonse boko your word of action no e be fe me abino rat kwesi mom you free me induce one process enlarge as in PSA test and scan make sure symptoms are abankro jonse now if you pick saponins alkaloids anthraquinones coumarins phytosteroids terpenoids when you say bioactive compounds or plant material now if you inject and I said no team one within a period of 8 weeks you say abon prostate na ekese no na watch after prostate say be enso ko temo no enso na twe adentia fansa balloon we me hu enfamagum ti ma inflate no se balloon we say no se me yin so ni say more na air stretch no outside so na inside the stretch and I say be e kemia urethra na kemia pipe we e na odon sa wo chim ama pipe na bi now Prostafet and when you use yourself ready prostate na ekese no emun abai ama Johnson flow boko inference na say I guess a bema since abeka wonya bi say Johnson a watchim Johnson emaye o prostate wonya test and access can say iron large no we use so edipa ye friend Prostafet herbal capsules a bioactive compounds wo mu no e betimi akọ one akoyin su akọta prostate na free ho a shrink back to normal na pipe na ekese ye ne mu abi it na don't sorry by to one say one more say we secret tampo no o bon say we use Prostafet for first 3 weeks no bon say afede ogu nsu a na ade ni pushiba na epushiba na enua adentia ekwan na si entiche mu no sa kwan na bi enti na Prostafet herbal capsules ye body man say jonse boko kwasi bia fa nkobo hu a pusoman ni nkobo MTN no 0245 61 6028 0245 616028 and Airtel non so we are busy Airtel non so 0261 736263 0261 736263 kai say a Prostafet herbal capsules your body man say jonse boko Jonse
Dr. Solomon Apia Kubi na hete nka no Prostafet capsules jonse boko mema sebiwa prostate gland no me pacho ehu akakakra no jonse a wote ya no meka ho no mompe Prostafet ne bi Solak biochemist Dr. Solomon Apia Kubi no ye o se enye na wodwom anti bebia wo bia no bebia ton adro bia wo kwa kope bi to kai se Prostafet capsules nombi na dwonso boko na bibia entumi enko enkan sa woda ho tie power 97.9 FM wo hwe TVXYZ and some bre gubamba so a baba na yedi hu enkomo ye behwe energy committee mo address media no response to concern of minority over fuel 100 and I say 1 Ghana cedi ye to liter bia na ye de atoso hunsem ye behwe sa videos no ye behwe Ministry of Communication Honorable Samuel Nete George ye twa so kan Sam George and also nensema odi tu dwa mensema waka ede afa data pricing ho ye behwe na ye tie bi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama inaugurated the police council and there was the Jubilee House no so ye be de ho komo papa say Minister of Health ne de ye de ho enkomo enti weni some gubamba so ayeba nende be de ho komo papa ebiom ekukuda mande omo wo dwumadi so ene omo be de nkomo Acting Executive Director at the Complementary Educational Agency. Ye freno nkanone from non-formal. Ye beteninka Executive Director says you know acting Honorable Daniel Kwesi Ashama. Obofia ha ye no edin komosa aso no Honorable Timothy Atabuadi Awintrim. Also beba former Member of Parliament de ma Bossa North. Also fidwem ha ye ba na eno mu na ankasa edi enkomo we fi the kesi so nti baby a obiano memfa unsen carefully and menkoso nda TVXYZ and it power 97.9 FM make house send the manager de ma power 97.9 FM ura Mugabi Mase Salifu adia and the odina woda nti wo ba your premises are high gidigidi menya pa ese weni ense de catcher so baby obia betumi ato afa ha na wa behwe ye na manager mebuana okay baby yedri they be amekase doctor me nima ben country no but the kwan fa so ye adwuma na bro madwene menti ase so last week am kodi me papa 40 days for takrade me papa tri ba mienu no ne me di nkomo na me dwanum so anti adwubi we de ye asema me ankasa me kan me hu se no kre doctor ni me adwuma me anti owo takwa aboso otogu na nan so anti ribinom se na nan me na ha adwene yi pa anti we de ye didi nkomo ba nante kama na mi san anti ekwadwi na mpomu wonan de anya na ese wo ya ma no so obi na oche no midimafo midimafo herbal clinic ho na okọ midimafo no akwantra na say edura doctor no to so no di super pepe ama say sia me ante no assign over 60 years wasan sinedadam na ebro adwene nti ase so nti eduru midima fo mbre na dia ma me you TV ni mfi ha menyi radio ni mfi ha na papa na obekasa ne ti ebia wo chin a wonya wayarsa wonso midima fo nhwe ti nkomo na one ebo no na tu anamonda di atri na obekasa ne kre ke Nicholas kan mama papa na kwaba bro akwaba we di me fie pay last week takrade me ko fie
yes
na me ante enyenchen o takwa na boss no odi modwuma no honkomo nkoso ndi nwuma pa emfa mboa Ghana fo ina menim say afoforo so tie ombetie no moto anamo ba me be kan say over to you.
Thank you very much. Me that's pa na said your kai no nyame aduma on the 16th of July yebatakwa 16th of July but ayarasa crusade ena ekoso na ohwe sade waka kire se ono ankasa ne antia we nyina di adanse se oba medimafo ya ba hospital ma me papa me aba ma enye sa agudie ena enye se yebedadaw da bi doctor on ada obia da biara dam medimafo ya ba hospital doctor time da so on ada obiara dam sade obo ade ene haban ene dubrade ya hye nsa no pepe na doctor de adwuma e wo medimafo ya ba hospital no kwasam no say medical kasa on the 16th July ayarasa crusade na ekoso watakwa Central SDA Church premises wa takwa Central SDA Church on the 16th July but edano obi a wabubuo ebe sori agina edano obi a ontumi nante benante edano obi a yare aka na to foma anu nti abusia konhyiamu a yamfre no pato efri sada no oho ebeto esa onyankopon tumi a odi ama Dr. Time da so nti ebre bia metena se meka se anya ya ho oden ena enye ni mudie na emum etwedi ampo nyankopon a obo ade na okakire nipa da sani se munni aduaba na momfa haban no nsa mo ho yare afi okakire yenso se nimdie a meman ni enti enu nti na oman no ayeseye bare se yenya munni mudie a yebetumi aboa na aboa mu nipa sade Isaiah na ebra ne manfo na wonu musugu no so se na adaye bewu ebra HIV ebra gono ahodo nyare basa mpompo ene ade abobo no no omusugu odifo eso na woni bibi ebra odifo no boru akwaye mu no oba no na ode habanma na ode nubira ahodo ene ode ba ebesa ne manfo yare ewo saabere no na ebra ode nsa omu yare ne nyina no na ne nyina de danse sampa senka obitimi transeka se onoma bibidura o kidney besei onuma bibidura o liver besei onuma bibidura o yamade besei ma me papa mini abema enya no kura da biara da sa onuma bibidura sa o kidney ana onuma bibidura empo no liver besei ne tie no se onyame nim sase ye onuma bibidura me kidney asaya enko nka nkire se ye ne aduaba ne mfa haban ne mfa nse ya ho yare esan sa adede nkruma nyame dua ana afeka kapempen odum ne hono ane nuaba hodo a ye nyina ye kwotete kwa awade ba no de ansa na ebia obenuma mananya nsunsanso bone wo hono tie ne pa one ne chen se ahaban bia ansa ne de be se yare no ewosi enhu sa ahaban condition no e good ahaban bi wa na yare akom nti se yare kodua bi so na wo de sanyare wa hodo a e de ohawba enu nti obi nim se ebia makonya medua we na edim finhia ma akoma kwa aduo no a ansasa me de sayare edim finhia enum akra na sayare but we no nyina wode hunim dia no ele adom Dr. Time na so me dimafo ba hospital nti o ba ma me papa nyaare hwemu sa ampa ho beto doctor hia ogidie ohia na monto abeto dia ba me dimafo ba hospital sanse onyame no onim tumi a ewa haban ne mu ena onam so na yede ema wo me dimafo ba hospital ye opokwa asema ira kumase abu akwa atwoma ago school junction obi o hwe me sesi a o takwa ne mpatamum o se ma me ntwen 16 July no yare bia ne se de setie yare bia obetimi de atwen se bia onan na ya onan na ehwan ana empo no onan ti na ontumi nante a eno de obetimi de atwen yen we wontumi antena ka mu ma kumase ampacho obetimi de atwen ba yare a wo hwa wan hwe ye de o ha baba ampacho tu na fa bra kumase before the 16th of July ana se wo ben kran obetimi aba akra ye opokwa se mayira kumase ya bu akwa atwuma ago school junction ayaresa ba akwa ampacho for the first time Ghana bakosemu na ayaresa bia we Obama hiafo ne sikafo nyina ye medimafo ba hospital enu nti na o mama doctor nka nkyerɛ sɛ for 3000 Ghana cedis to ho ansa na mahwɛ for 2000 to peking kan ansa na mahwɛ o esan sɛ obi o ba o se doctor me sika kita me eni 200 300 doctor se fabra me mu aduro na otwe me no kokonom na enuru na otwe me no a wonsa mara yarosa bi mu no na won say yes ampa onyame wo tumi na sa tumi na ode dom ahabama no eno na Dr. Time na so enam so ede sa yare ma me papa me ni aba be ma obi o hania na ha wo etete fabra medimafo obi o fibroid no the thickness level no ebi 2 inches ebi 3 ebi timi kwa up to 7 inches kra but fabra medimafo ya ba hospital oba bi won so onyanko hwe onko twa scan bi a yenyan cheke say fibroid no obi ana onibi sa nipa no ba medimafo ya hwe de ama sa so na prostate enlargement ho asem no yete no say oba medimafo a your machines ni nyina ho a yete ye be check wo liver obi bia wo yam bia no ye be check de ama ne he say ne healthy level no e wo say de na ho odin sitie no say ene sitie e wo medimafo ya ba hospital na ewi a ya ma the breakdown no e bi ompo a yetimi ya qualitative analysis ewo ho esanse e bi wo a ye hwe protein no ye hwe protein do a atumi aba emoja no mu a ene betitem se wono prostate no say ena aduru ana say aduru say esan say obi o ha between 25 to 28 no yes the range ni okay but nya duru 30 pe na asaba akwan beka ho baya na no so be depend on age no ento ba na sempa cha wadi mfie 40 akachira so wadi 40 wadi 35 akachira se wadi 30 obi ono ba ultimo se ni pass me se pa e bia 40 years but me 35 years but ebra wo nyine kwa animu no na prostate no so no emu eye de ebie enye obi a na emum no wo a wo ye likely say obenya bi no sa na tie ento ba no account age pepepe e de akira na afi ahwe abo esan sem from the age of 30 ko nyina no etimi enlarge ewo memem no wa hyana nso but obi wo say na abrofo kra menti say bia mu no prostate ni ade but abrofo no ani abibifo no the titru na abrofo no mo UK no ani abibifo na prostate no eya na yeta komo o ha mu pa anontement na say Bramdimafo aba hospital na ya mo but infertility oba ne bema amuntumi nwo no fa Bramdimafo aba hospital esan say bema bi ntumi nwo esan say ne nkwamo no inso na light insuo no esense baby a wo no obi ho a otimi hyehye ne oma pampe na tight no heat ni ade agina wo no eyo ha e de ma wankasa onipadua no enu nti ya yenya ahweye ye hye ne oma ye nhye ne oma akwan da ho amframa betimi afam ne ti e ma nso saa ne sitie so ta hye ne oma amframa betimi afa ho na wo nso atimi anya apomuden medimafo ya ba hospital poko asema ira kumase abu akwa atwoma go school junction ade ba ko ne se koko ya yare a ya na mpempi na binom ka ose o mema nkwa na koko ye mpa cha onye mema nkwa oba koko timi yo na bema de koko ba oso a o mema sam ya na teso ekofom esan se obra koko ne didi oni paduanom no na mfe ahoɔden a wose kɔ bema no na so te ave moja na wose timi ya adwuma no koko no ebre didi no nso yusu moja ne bi anu nti emma wankasa o mema yo no ntimi nkoso san se wose moja ne bi timi pompi kɔ bema no na timi agina so na ya adwuma anu nti obi wa akɔ agana bi asabi odi na de cheme wa hwe ya akɔ ho a obo ebafuno fabra medimafo ya ba hospital na ema no koko ewo nsunsanso pa o mema ema so oba obi wa ne body ni ntimi nye smooth skin ni ntimi nye smooth esense koko ne fifi eba ni padua nani efifi sa na o skin ni ntimi nye smooth sanso na oba bi o ho ampacho e de tense ne menses ne ema biem na tambia me ka kire o say sa o yo oba wa anya abortion na memoja ntu between 1 week to 3 weeks afi wa anya air topica na onuru monopause age ensasa wutwabra na sa within sa range mu nyina ebia enyew na watwabra koko etimi koso sa oba medimafo ba hospital e be hwe oni paduanom na afei esese ade aduroma na ekotu ase na atu ase ade amawo medimafo ba hospital koko nti oba bi se meni atenka oba bi de meni atenka sa masabere me na okasa nikunu ahwere no small girl bi agine kunu oba bi di meni atenka saa eno nti ama ne kunu ma masam no akofom kra fabra medimafo ba hospital be ma de nyesa wona mabonchesu no pagapage wabati be ma wo so otimi ya adwuma be ma o ye adwuma ma o ye ma mo opiafo eno nti na hu se oba bi otimi kase oba ma we be ma bi timi kase oba we majano na oba ne nti hu jai esa na adwuma din a be ma ne ye ma oba na najunti ena ya na oba ne ntimi nti hu jai ba be ma so timi siesie ho eya bibiduro ne de ma wo mpacho ya nkoma afrodisia say nom na ne oba nkonkoda edura de ma no siesie oni paduanom esanse se ye nana no meme nana na me maame edi mfie be se aduowatwe num me papa edi mfie aduowatwe enkro me nana edi 94 years no timi ware ne yira otoso nan a me pacho be ma wadi 35 years edenti na untumi mmo adwuma pacho fabra me dimafo ya ba hospital ne yamba esanse ya na nua bi o ha me boni din kra obeka se eduadi na ya fra eduabi krama kwate sannioma nyina ya nduaba hodo a akomore efua edi efuo ye bema bi o se me bema no efon me bema fon a ketekete efuo ya aya duro kese pa esense se edi fuo timi frank to de bobo oba ma oba ye kese a bema no mpacho ebia na yare na abam na oba ye betu ase de ama no ya ma aduro bibi ti se bacterial infection fungal infection ni nyina no fa bra medima fo ba hospital e opoko ase mayira entete case wo doctor ni so se ya na trans ne ka se yare bi entete case a ya na obi wa no osere sometimes na ya na brenti ye ntimi mfa yare bi ankyerechire mebe na kyerechire na se dia ma ho esa ebra ye de time e o TV ni radio so nti baru twa na ma ba medima fo ba hospital ye kyerɛ no ma nyina ye obra ne bra obi a so di ba wudi from 40 years e kwa mpacho to na mo esa nhwe hypertension ni ade cholesterol ni ade betu te se woni paduanum na cholesterol no de ho asem no ye hia bia ma e beka ho asem to na mo na bra medima fo ba hospital Friday nyame ya adoma premium service 200 Ghana cedis for registration oba eno no ye fa ni packet wa bi ye numbers na wo TV no so no 0244 774282 0244 774282 and a 0500 727215 0500 727215 medima fo ba hospital Dr. Time daso ene da no Minia, yebeda ase po apa.
Yebeda ase nti medima fo Herbal Hospital. Me medikan ahu makoso me ami fie me anti menim so to TV echi hwe ono ano di adanse no e de kire me no ntume nante kra nso to anamonko ho no nyame afa doctor so ana wafa medima fo Herbal Hospital so etumi age no sa na wo so ko a wo yaw anase yare bi eda so bi o betumi de aboa na wo so etumi afa ho efi yare a hell eno sisi fom na no baby edru yetua inside politics jumedie no so na and there the Minister of Education the Minister of Communication Honorable Samuel Nete George Dodona friend Sam George and they address public no provide updates data pricing with to me edi hon komo pa yi and say efane data your mobile network ahorowa omo Ghana ha no yati asem de nti say I will talk 10 series ye the one city be kan ho we na ya de a de yensem bebre no motie but honorable akade ba ko multi choice Ghana limited our more operate DSTV DSTV for catch ye say ye city need depreciate says ya no city na appreciate my dollar na depreciate anti me pese wa address sa issue no so mayen woni multi choice Ghana for kasa because the sad they are two musa besinde anti monhwe sa yin so address my DSTV no ye two mudodo they be almost city ni sabi depreciate says ya city na appreciate dollar na ti aba from kra anti DSTV for enhwe no omontete so emfe mayen yen kwankwatie owura Sam George ensem and the two dwa efa na data pricing ene ensem bebre nankasa boda Ghana fu bebre efa ye mobile network ehun sensem yen kwankwatie in the press conference or here ensem of the two dwa
one loss making MNO and another MNO that has been brought to his knees. 3 of the MNOs no longer exist and the 4 BWAs are dead. The sector has experienced a sharp decline in growth and investment, and the regulator has been essentially on autopilot. It is therefore shocking to see proponents of the outgone government being the loudest trumpeters of the challenges that they have created. I am told it is a carefully curated art of dark politics called Jandam. It is an attempt to create a false narrative, not based on facts, but built on distortions and aimed at disseminating disinformation. Well, let me state, that scheme has failed. I have been at post for 4 months and have set to work vigorously in collaboration with the regulator, the CEOs and other stakeholders to fashion a clear roadmap for the systemic resolution of the challenges we inherited. I'm not interested in cosmetic fixes that merely paper over the deep cracks and create an illusion of resolution only to push the can further down the road. I have learned from the former Communications Minister and now President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to embrace the challenges I am faced with, diagnose it rightly, and work towards a lasting solution. In my first month as Minister, I established a 23-member data pricing review committee with a clear 14-day mandate to develop a roadmap for implementation. The committee, in its report, distinguish the 3 areas that we believe need to be addressed for a holistic resolution of the matter: value, pricing, and quality. I referred the report to the regulator and tasked them with crafting regulatory policies that addressed the challenges in the sector. In my second month, the regulator, after engaging with the mobile network operators, came up with proposals that curated specialized bundle solutions for tertiary students and content creators. We immediately set out to build a dynamic database for the two demographics. I held a meeting with all vice chancellors in the country to design a framework that allowed the networks to identify which numbers were used by tertiary students. However, I took a policy decision to truncate the process and re-engage the stakeholders to achieve a broader solution that affected all Ghanaian data users. In my third month, this engagement led to a focus on the structural challenges that the networks were facing in delivering their services. As indicated earlier, we had our eyes not just on the value and pricing of data bundles, but on the quality of service delivery. I am sure that even with increased value or reduced pricing, if quality is not improved, we will still have a sour customer experience. This led to the regulator commissioning and completing an assessment of a sample size of network performance in 3G and 4G service offerings across the country, the results of which I discussed with the CEOs and the media 2 weeks ago. In my fourth month, armed with a clear picture of where we are as a sector, I tasked the CEOs to work with me to improve the quality of service and to offer enhanced data bundles. Now let me be clear. My mandate as minister in a free market economy does not extend to interfering in the pricing by private sector investors. Just like the Minister for Trade does not have the power to direct GUTA members to drop their prices unilaterally, the Communications Minister cannot unilaterally direct price reductions. The immediate retort will be, and I am expecting it, but you accused your predecessor of being responsible for price increases. Yes, I did. The SMP toolkit is replete with several policy directions that are not direct price directives, but cumulatively have an effect on pricing. So a decision, for example, that was taken by my predecessor to have CST collected forward would, for example, result in a pricing increase. So it was not a price directive, it was a policy directive that affects pricing. Another example will be the decision to declare MTN as an SMP and implement tariff rationalization, which resulted in an effective price increase by the operator, which the customers bore. However, these actions were not adequately and properly implemented, and they led to a situation where the SMP has grown by over 10% in market share, accompanied by quality of service issues due to the network configuration and congestion. To address the quality of service issues, I presented a memorandum to the Cabinet of Ghana aimed at making spectrum available to Mrs. Scancom Ghana Limited and Ghana Telecommunications Company Limited. The process of the spectrum sale is scheduled to be completed by the end of the first week in July. In the case of Ghana Telecommunications Company Limited, known as Telecel, I have given additional policy approval for the regulator to grant a connecting entity license, enabling the operator to optimize service using the 2100 MHz spectrum at the disposal of NGIC. This should result in a significant improvement in the quality of service and customer experience in the coming weeks. I want to reiterate my commitment to an engagement-led style of leadership that involves all my stakeholders, listens to their challenges, and works to address them in a manner that benefits the entire ecosystem. We need intense competition in the sector, but it must be healthy and sustainable. I am committed to value-added data bundle offerings, and most importantly, these policy actions will culminate in price reductions in the medium to long term. However, the recovery from 8 years of mismanagement cannot be completed in 4 months. To this end, I have mandated that all operators make critical investments in their networks to improve quality over the next quarter, that is from July to September. The regulator will commence a rigorous quality of service assessment in the final quarter of the year, October to December. Reverend Franco, rigorous quality of service assessment. Defaulting operators will be sanctioned. I will also, at this point, commend the CEOs of the 3 telcos for their pledged commitment to collectively invest approximately $150 million in their networks between now and the end of the year to enhance quality of service, either by acquisition of spectrum or introduction or acquisition of new transmitters and equipment. At this juncture, I am pleased to announce that my engagement with the CEOs have resulted in the following specific measures, which are to take effect from Tuesday, 1st of July, 2025. Airtel Tigo Ghana, AT Ghana. A 10% increase in all data bundles currently offered by the network. Additionally, the 400 Ghana cedi bundle, which currently offers 195 gigabytes of data, will now offer 236 gigabytes of data. Ghana Telecommunications Company Limited, Telecel. Also a 10% increase in all data bundles currently offered by the network. Their 400 Ghana cedi bundle, which currently offers 90 gigabytes, will offer 250 gigabytes from 1st of July. Scancom Ghana Limited, MTN. A 15% increase in all data bundles currently offered by the network. And I'm pleased to announce the restoration of the 399 Ghana cedi bundle, which currently has been changed to the 350 cedi bundle that offers 92.88 gig, will henceforth be reinstated to 214 gig for 399 Ghana cedis. I am aware these increases are going to come at considerable cost to the network operators. However, I am glad that our engagements and the consultations are bearing fruit for the Ghanaian people. To the CEOs, you have my gratitude. We have pledged our continued fidelity to the people of Ghana, who are the customers of the telcos. The implementation date of 1st of July is to allow the networks to recalibrate and reconfigure their systems to reflect the agreed upon value increases. The regulator, NCA, is directed to ensure they monitor strict implementations of this directive from 1st of July. Where failure applies, sanctions should be applied. The changes on MTN are steeper than the 2 other operators, but this is as a result of MTN's SMP status. The ministry is committed to continue to working with the regulator and MTN to constantly review their SMP status and make the necessary adjustments once we achieve the market realignments that we seek with these measures. It has also come to my notice that there is a public call regarding the arbitrary charge or change in data prices by the operators. Let me state for the record that the facts do not support that claim. The NCA has a billing verification system to access the billing integrities of mobile data services. The NCA reports that in the last billing integrity test conducted on mobile data bundles for MTN, Telecel, and AT in Q3 of 2024, it found that 1. All data bundles purchased during the test period were correctly credited and remained intact throughout their validity with no unexpected data losses. 2. Non-expiry data bundles did not expire. And 3. All unused data bundles were rolled over after resubscription. These are the facts from the NCA. The NCA is hereby directed to conduct a billing integrity test for data services and to provide quarterly reports to the ministry starting from Q3. The NCA must check data billing for scenarios involving popular apps and websites. And if operators are found to be billing inaccurately, appropriate sanctions should be applied. In conclusion, I am confident we will see further drops in the actual prices of the data offerings when the Finance Ministry takes action on the tax handles in the sector. I'm continuing my engagements with the Honorable Finance Minister to to get his approval for the rationalization of some components in the tax buildup in the sector. If we are able to have a proper rationalization of the taxes, we should see a drop in the almost 39% tax buildup in the price of data in the country. If that drops, we would insist that the telcos pass that on to their customers. Another area I am vigorously pursuing is with the Minister of Energy and Green Transitions and the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. If we are granted a telecom tariff for the sector, it will lead to further price drops for offerings currently available. Because until they give us a telecom tariff, as the mining sector has, the cost of delivering the service will continue to be inhibitive. I remain committed to delivering on the mandate of the ministry as entrusted into my care by His Excellency the President. I will continue to engage robustly with stakeholders in the sector to protect their investments in Ghana and make Ghana a friendly destination for investments. But I encourage them to invest more. Ultimately, my heart is with the people of Ghana. I will serve you with heart, with sweat, and with blood. And we will fix the mess that I have inherited in this ministry. So help me God. Thank you for your attention, and God bless our homeland, Ghana. And so, I will field questions from the media. If there are any questions that anyone has on the announcements that have been made, I'll be willing and glad to take those questions. I'll take them in batches of 3. 190. It's currently at 190 gig, and now they will offer 250 gig for the same price. Well, that's why I have not done this unilaterally. And that's why for those who have always said, just announce, just announce. I'm glad today you have all the 3 CEOs here. And we will not have an instance where you will see people either go to court to challenge the directive or go to the electronic tribunal. But we have worked together to get to this point. And that's the value of consultation. They say the patient dog, it's the fattest bone. And once again, I extend my gratitude to the CEOs for the work they have done over the last 4 months with me to get to this place. It's not the end of the journey. There's still a lot more we will do together for the Ghanaian people to make their businesses profitable, but to make data accessible and affordable for the Ghanaian people. So yes, it will come at cost to them, but they also know that they have a responsibility to the Ghanaian people. Well, that's why I just addressed, in my address, I spoke specifically to the Telecel intervention that we're making. Apart from the fact that we've offered both Telecel and, maybe because I use their official names, Ghana Telecommunications and Scancom. Scancom is MTN. Ghana Telecommunications is Telecel. We've offered them spectrum. Now, just so that we appreciate what it is, the ability to give you quality of service, the ability for you to be able to stream your data or your videos without them buffering, depends on the amount of bandwidth and spectrum, and the amount of bandwidth, and that also depends on the amount of spectrum that the telecom companies have. I know that both companies, including even AT, have been asking for spectrum for the last 4 years. They've not gotten it. But that's why I said it comes back to diagnosing what the problems are and fixing them. And that's why we're offering spectrum to MTN, we're offering spectrum to Telecel, and both companies, as a sign of their commitment to improving quality of service, have agreed to buy the spectrum that we're offering to them. Spectrum is also not very cheap. I must be honest about that. It's pretty expensive, you know, but they are paying for the spectrum. Once we complete the deal by the first week of July, that will give them additional spectrum and bandwidth that they can then use to improve the quality of the network. Again, it is not a switch that gets turned on immediately they get the spectrum. They need to do investments in their network, they need to bring in new transmitters, they need to bring in new switches, they need to do configuration, and that's why we've given them a quarter, 3 months. So if you listened again in my speech, I spoke about the fact that we're giving them spectrum by end of July, first week of July, we expect that to be done, but we expect them to complete it by the deployment of that spectrum by end of Q3, which is September, July to September. And I've asked the regulator to immediately begin testing for the improvement in the quality of service in Q4, which is October to December. So yes, we will see. But again, in the specific case of Telecel, I again in my speech stated that I had given them approval, I had given the regulator approval this week for them to grant them a connecting entity license so that they can begin to offer improved services using the 2100 megahertz spectrum band that's held by NGIC. That again is policy direction we've given to allow them be able to get access immediately to some spectrum that can improve their quality of service. But let me not mince words. 2 weeks ago, I had a meeting in this room with the CEOs and showed the quality of the network and the status of the infrastructure. By end of Q4, the NCA will bring us the quality of service report. We would again show it to the country, and if there are failings anywhere, we would apply sanctions. I hope we don't get there. Next question. Yes. Kindly identify yourself. You can speak, but kindly identify yourself so the room knows who is speaking.
Thank you very much. My name is Samir.
All right. I'll start with your last question. I did not say that they should reduce prices. Let's be very clear. My directive is loud and clear. I have not asked them to reduce prices. I have asked them to increase value offerings. There are two different things. And if you again listen to my speech, I said that the committee that had the 14-day mandate identified 3 key areas: value, price, quality of service. So we've not, and I've stated that prices will drop when we see the movement at the finance ministry on the tax handles, and when we see movement at the energy ministry on the telecom tariff. What we are doing as a regulator and as a policy driver right now is on value. We will deal with value and quality of service. Now, why is MTN doing more? Because if you realize, when they were declared SMP about 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, in 2020, so 5 years ago, the ministry directed a 15% increase in their effective rates. So basically, we've reversed that. Because if we had done 10%, they would still effectively have been higher than where they were previously. And I'm minded by the fact that today, as a significant market player, whatever we do on that network affects almost 76% of all mobile network users. And so, as a sign of our commitment to understanding and dealing with the challenges Ghanaians are facing at this point in time, we've taken that decision. It means a lot more loss as well, don't forget, for the SMP, because then they are carrying a lot more burden. Because if you give more value, it's cost to the network. So if they are the SMP and you are imposing a certain, in quote, levy of some sort, they should carry more than the other 2 networks. Because if they carry less or the same, then it means that you are not being fair to the other networks that don't have the same market size. And that's why we've created this intentional arbitrage between the reductions. The other question about why 80 did not get. Do not forget that 80 is a merger between Tigo and Airtel Ghana. And both of them had spectrum holdings which got consolidated. At this point in time, 80 is the only company, MNO, that doesn't offer 4G. The ministry is currently in the process of restructuring 80. There's been a public announcement of conversations going on of a possible relationship with a private investor. And so it is important that you consummate that process before you begin the conversation about any spectrum addition, because then the new partners will want to do an assessment of what the asset holdings are today. Those asset holdings should not be fluid relative to spectrum. It should be definite. We finish the negotiations, and then we can always look at what we will do for 80. But don't forget that at this point in time, 80 belongs to the government of Ghana 100%. And like I keep saying, all options are still on the table for us relative to 80 and what we will do going forward. All the telcos, by regulatory practice, have to notify the regulator of any price increases. And at this juncture, let me just say that Telecel did some increases on their fixed broadband, not all their mobile data services, only fixed broadband, an increase of I think 20 cedis and 30 cedis in some cases. The regulator has been informed, and as the ministry, we have indicated to the regulator to go back to the MNO to have a conversation on the reversal of that increase, because in this day and age, our focus is on reduction. And so the operator and the regulator will have conversations about how to walk back even those 20 and 30 CD increases. And so that should give you assurances that the regulator will not. And again, in my speech, I referenced it when I said that I asked them to do a test of all effective rates, not just data but voice, to ensure that no telco would price above what is permitted or what has been approved by the regulator. When they do the test and it is found that any of the regulators, any of the operators is charging beyond the approved rate, there'll be sanctions for it. And trust me, we will come down hard on that. But so far, in the 4 months I've engaged with the CEOs, I'm sure and confident that they will not act in a manner that is arbitrary and without recourse to the regulator.
CEA.
Enti Honorable Sam George na yetene Minister in charge of communication ono na ode ensem atudwa no enti data pricing ono no ode tu dwa tire mu se wane o man kasa se o mon teso but o che se hawa o metumi improve o mo service ne bundle sam ne ade Ghana for complaining no enti ehun komo no ne o mu die o de betu dwa enti data pricing no kan imom wan kire se omonteso enti muma yenhye so wo ho asama Samuel Nete George itwa so kan Sam George Minister in charge of communication or the two dwana no na and that's so energy committee addressing media no and a response to concern unkofo raise on the minority over fuel 1 Ghana cedi per liter no asem mepese be ko na ekotie ma eno so course embrace
annually Ghana cedis annually, and since the projected revenue will not be enough to purchase the needed fuel, liquid fuels, the government of Ghana, through the finance ministry, will continue to provide the needed funding to cater for the deficit. The objective is to ensure the continuous provision of reliable power supply for Ghanaians. It is, however, important to note that 1, this will not increase the current fuel prices at the pump. 2, fuel prices have already dropped significantly from over 16 Ghana cedis per liter in 2025 this year to an average of 12 cedis per liter due to the prudent economic management by the JDM government. Even if the 1 Ghana cedi levy fuel remains significantly cheaper than it was earlier this year, let me reiterate that there will not be any increment, I repeat, there will not be any increment in prices of fuel as at the current market price still remains significantly low than what Ghanaians were paying at the start of the year. This is not a deception, but a strategy and responsible way to raise funds without burdening the Ghanaian consumer with a higher electricity tariff or erratic power supply. All members from the minority side in the Finance Committee and all the leaders from the Energy Committee were present in the committee meeting when we discussed this amendment bill. We all went through the bill and no one walked out. They were all there, and I can mention their names if you want me to. The Honorable George Kwame Abuaji, who is my ranking member, was present. Honorable Collins Adumako Mensah, the deputy ranking, was present. Was also together with all the minority MPs on the Finance Committee, including the ranking member of Finance Committee, Honorable Adam Mohammed Amin, the former Minister for Finance. They were all there. At the end, a majority decision was taken. How then can you organize a press conference to say that you were not informed nor consulted? This is the deliberate misinformation from the minority. It's what is causing some few groups to agitate, but want to assure everyone that all it needs and what this government is committed is a stable electricity across the nation, sound economic decision, and long-term energy security. Let us not play politics with the power that lights our home, power our hospitals, and drives our industry. We are grateful for your time and thank you for coming. I will ask my brother, Honorable Kofi, to do the tree translation, and then we will take questions from you. Thank you very much.
This is the majority caucus of the Energy Committee. Now, your phone is no assembly or Kodo, or the minority side of the Energy Committee in some work account. Now, more thing there, we go to men, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, I brought your campaign, okay, they reset.
Busumbiara, Abani here 2 billion Ghana cedis, and Sana, energy sector, no, Kranian with 2 months ago. Now, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Naban, ya there. Young Kaya today, Akufuado, President Naban, no, they ever pass on the debt. At the end of the day, no, also they solve the crisis. Until you take initiatives. Now, initiatives in the Biam or your other 3. It is not only Levia Yerkawasam, we've taken other initiatives. Yenyum, that the energy sector no or your other 3 no affect gas supply. Yeke say, your plans there, second phase of Ghana gas plant, you be see. There are negotiations with GMPC there on the production or establishment of an LNG plant. And also, over debt in you there. On Saturday, you 2 year pass one debt in sea. And now you did 1 Ghana city, you droba. You know now, therefore, you know the consent P. There you be, Yatum, Yambisa. We are the last government, you be there, you did or how Magana for. But also, the modern day ever solve the problems, no? Because that is why we voted for. Because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on Kakade or the problems by the next president to come no solve. Now won't tell you. Yes, the 1 Ghana city levy no on for Hobiaramba. Osande Afibiara ye here $1.2 billion and sana irato fango Osande Ghana energy generation mix no here fango near the generative. Now, there were 2 options. Either there, you had or how a corner you had to fango no, you had to copy. Now, what that can bills now, what did you electricity bill? No, and it's a CCR say a electricity bill at the end of the month 50 Ghana cedis. Or Chedi had to come into your crown or 75 Ghana cedis. You know how a Ghana fool into your care no, you enforce, you solve the whole problems no, because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on Capede. How be Magana for? In another phone. Now, Sika Yerke, or 1 cedi, Afe, and you know the Bamain, or 5.7 billion Ghana cedis. Umpo, still, Aban being here there, or the Biba Kaun. Not that Abano, where you halfway, still, or said Abano to be Kaun. Now, near kind there, since your farm go yet on a pump station, it's about 12 cedis, level point there about per liter. As of January, yes, Afiasi, no, it's 16 Ghana cedis. Until Umpo, see the 4 cedis no come still, Ghana, Ebenya Kakra, Skakakra, and the Google Tom. Now, assurance is why you're in there. Motibia, so no, Yama Fango, Nebo Yedzen, or pump stations. Until you enemy, I don't work a GPR to full, Kede, walk or strike. Now, what's no form we win there?
Enti, honorable. Kofi Akon na ete say bubum wo mfante kama energy committee or parliament or majority side and some of the two efa no mo minority over fuel much as 1 liter 1 Ghana cedi Ghana we will form say ye na ye somtwe na ye tua de boa na ye dum so ye fi ho no and some minority akohwisam ne atro mu di ye no mo nsem na majority no so obode atuga achechim no nti ade eteno no de twatwo kransa ekukuda matena form na ye din komom His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ndeso wa inaugurate police council wa Jubilee House mayan konkotie ensema His Excellency John Dramani Mahama de tudwa yentimra
Thank you very much. Please be seated.
It is Excellency John Dramani Mahama no. We call so Jubilee House inauguration or police council a call so and then a TV so nti make us inaugurate police council nende bro adrena nti so minim say police council na ba be adwuma ma bibia etumi akonkan nti eno na also uhu etwegu television so no ye inaugurate ne kama ekukudama owuremu eno na wehui anti yebesan aba studios na mehobia so yede atoa so na yeba studios de a mamemfa happy birthday shronko memfa ma yenua bia ono so odi ne birthday Lizzy say yemfa happy birthday emfema yenua ba na odi ne birthday Rosina Ashley odi ne birthday ende enti NDC treasure wo Doman constituency Domana Doma na ma twene sa no Doma constituency anti NDC treasure what Doma constituency Rosaline Ashley happy birthday enuaba baby awo biano eno na edaso fefe no how Lizzy ni ajepa and beba Doma na yebedi agro papa or Doma nti ade eteno no yenua Rosina Ashley wa mama I confused Rosina Ashley or Doma constituency Rosina Ashley on the capacity man on the TV we hear TV says here we be Mugabe Masi the manager the general manager the TV XYZ and then Odin birthday and general manager the TV XYZ Power 97.9 FM Majoraf position na Power 97.9 FM Ora Mugabe Masi we hu abate no and general manager ma Power 97.9 Mugabe Masi in the Tuesday 10th of June and the OD na woda enti de eteno no eno na FM no still eguso ekoso baby a wo bi obetumi aba Power FM ha ye premises na and nkofo bomb na so twede pa nkofo didi nkofo eji omani pa enti de eteno no enti Mugabe Masi saso na ora kwaku Asafo Ajay so ono na oye penny oda scholarship secretariat ano miami nua Asafo Ajay ono so did the birthday ntinde nipa bebre na edi omo birthday ende nti kwaku Asafo Ajay did the birthday Mugabe Masi did the birthday na dodo nanka so mudium mate se ko sapon so ende no so edi ne birthday inde enti ekukudam no wa ha ye ba bedi enkomo mama congratulate honorable Kweku Asafo Aje sina da so no mo hwe enti Alex Kweku Asafo Aje happy birthday ono no registrar de ma Ghana Scholarship Secretariat enti Kweku Asafo Aje kontonchi ye ka kontonchi dia na eche se ofi asante mampon and then odi ne birthday kontonchi baby a wo bia no happy birthday me frewa afa na yendi enkomo kontonchi me ne wa coach J Saponso edi ne birthday inde and also yenim coaches we training Ghana ha teams ahoro coaches we coach Azakes Miama Azakes we coach House of Folk da Kotoko Olympics ni team ahoro na coach J Sapon enti and also odi na woda ende ekukuda mi na edi oma woda ende ende bradwe ne anti asia so enti and those who do birthday ne ambodi we are so special ye more happy birthday anti the attenano me wo honorable Daniel Kwesi Ashaman wa ha or acting executive director at the complementary education agency and canon from non-formal session honorable last week no a former member of parliament and that the Ricky Nidivi answer oh fine sana yetna kasasa mpenifuti and me yemeni so ne say Friday and a patutu to pay frame no ne me kasa na or say XYZ so mayaya man e bro na dream nti ase so enti wa acknowledge XYZ ejuma kuni na ono so your friend oba yeso mayaya man o si ni so pa enti also de yina ase yina support ye de na no tum nyame adom mpenimfo ama sesi ani dibi wasesa enti first day at work yendra na o shase a okoye ejuma enti sesi ade complementary education agency and can from non-formal no executive director of the momo sasa na wo your own brother businessman or activist papa wo friend no Kobe Mensa ura Kobe Mensa so ha ekukuda mi na no mu dwudwuma ono abo Timothy Ataboade so ebepiem no so ye ne beto aso nti ekukuda mi na ne omudidwuma ono akaba congratulations biom
thank you very much
na edwombo ko de
edwombo Nicholas Medikai akamunyina asi
yate
and
that will cast our form. Gentle album kakra. Okay, young Koya name.
Now, Mida Omanpenny, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
Mida Vice President, I say. Mida National Chairman, I said, Honorable Asedun Ketias. General Secretary, Dr. Kalistos, Vitresa Nan, Obia Mida Munina as.
Okay.
Funny, Mami. Now, me supporters so, and that year, yes, I need the debut. So, and Namunya Mami, Onyamia, do Omu Eddie Abba, Inti Yedanya Coupon Assi. It's a Banosa. Edwanu de Beye, then I be real.
Yeah, but I say, the executive director, the complementary education agency, and Kanye from non-formal and no penny Kasiebo na oteha yatenin kamamenko ora Kobe Mensa kwaba bibi aboko de business to say
oh ye guso
this year ma see no appreciating to me did say moso niema motofi abrochi akofom
affecting business no yet e be because say was storage Johansson adora no drop yenti akan we can super yen capital na de but
Nima befa yeda nyame ase Mr. Kobe Mensa so na yetene nkano ye hyase a ye hwe eye necessary almost strike mu nsensem ne eye government response almost amma yen e fa no ye nuanom necessary bia bi mu de ase omunye ready so omo ko strike na bi mo so say a service of condition in niema anti and condition of service no nurses ni bi ebu pese o mun kwa adwuma na wo hwa abai a 5 month ani aye research Ghana kakrakra ye nim ade motivating nurses no bi mo say ye nkwa adwuma na me di say abinding na no December e dia tubia ye hwe nda honorable governmental candle minister in charge of air health or the same atudwa aka say omo no omo betena form no omo edin komo na condition of service no omo de bibia atoto yi omo grievances omo eniema bia ha omo no mahwe de atoto yi ntonabo ma ateno no yenka ye bibincha ye nurse na say ye nya ne ntie so bi muso hihye akyi epiepia monye but emepacho ye betumi I call it for a covenantal candle. Ni video no baby kakra muma yenhwe asemo de tuya na yentuan komono so.
Government commits to continue to engage with the nurses in order to achieve a mutually acceptable outcome in the interest of the public. While working around the clock to resolve the impasse, the Ministry of Health has taken the following steps to mitigate the suffering of Ghanaian patients unduly affected by the strike. The ministry will in the next few minutes publish a comprehensive list of facilities to complement facilities where nursing services are lacking and where patients can seek health care. Given the urgency of the situation and suffering of the patients, government appeals to public-spirited retired nurses and midwives to volunteer their services for a brief period pending the resolution of the impasse. Government wishes to stress its readiness to further engage with a view to implementing the conditions of service in a manner that does not dislocate the national budget. We wish to draw attention to the fact that the conditions of service under reference are not captured in the 2025 budget and will completely throw the economy off gear if implemented immediately in the manner it currently exists. We are mindful of the serious economic consequences of unbudgeted expenditure and want to avoid the economic slippages that led to the hardship in the recent past.
Honorable Covenantal Kando, Minister in charge of Health, Onosona or the government respond to the Abba, Fano, nursing strike in Ecosono. Honorable, my minister, so where?
Nicholas, Medasi, XYZ, I see. And I'm in my Mugabe is so happy birthday.
Yo, yes, we are proud of you, man.
I say, Hona,
giddy.
Yeah, Yami, and Micha, many are so. Near Kosu say, medical asre anese for. Baby a Ghana drew in there. Enye Ghana nanka ene 6 months into a new government. In sema enka sese can say, Oebia ye bue kriafono. Na endenu ye kasafa strike. Enye de. Union munesis enye de. Enye de media mesremo because nyama bi uya on se time bia me ba ha me ka se sem me busu ani bi awu na wo be fie mi anka se me su no wo be su achemia na ye fro be for I am not calling them before but dibi wo ho a let us turn and look at the patients almost suffer now like the minister have said ye can budget around March, is that not it?
Yes.
Inti bibianu ye di share kwan say na ye beye in this year. Now in May, June, who foresee a buying say adia 1 year budget and free and fa hono. On fan shenum on fast kanuma wan sana bekwejuma. Na ye yes I be ye. E ye keno forata ni na do time na yes I be ye. Cheso mu de omu fa Kafra Boga and yes wine. Bibia baby omunya hunze Chicago wa no mu dia. But we are resetting this country. And na Mami Penya oye the president of Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwife Association. Oh, ubeye sa na wa say udi. I just say Ghana ha politicians for ho, asofo ho, students for ho, soldier for ho, a teacher for ho. Into ya there be I say a mini Ghana for no market say we MPP ni and we are from Franto. And that does not augur well for you, or it will not augur well for you. Until you rescind your decision with your people. Because don't force the government to do something that will derail the gains we are making economically in this country. That is what I'll plead with you. And I agree with the government of today. Say, nurses are more paper. Our maritime.
It's honorable Minchawan wa share at television.
Yeah.
Ube who say health centers,
yes.
Polyclinics, hospitals are rono. Ube who say nurses engagement be I stand still. Honorable to us so.
Intino Ube who say in the Ghana, Minya. Ushe nyama kosu hospital crap. Moving say we know you are Ghanaians. We know very well you are Ghanaians. But then there are issues crap. No health sector no manka somebody no cray. Minya corner coffee Rich Hospital. Before His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebaye. Nurses winning na ewo ho. And sana Mahama be free akunya sunu uko Rich Hospital u rafu fra wasina akoy ti se abrochire machines ni nyina wa fix ato ho munasi susu mu yeduma ho de na baye mu mpanyifo etumi tenase subcontract some of the departments e their private individuals mwankasa machines na say mwankasa because you bisa say machines are togu ho enye djuma na mudi yansa na say ye na sika mu ji ya mu ye djuma no ji sika no efa hin and don't let Ghanaians recall the situation in which we are, especially so in the health sector. Ye besra mu intermediate nurses ni doctors ana wono mu pesa omunko ye djuma no munko abanse be ye kra mo 1 year contract bi say
yes
do get you right. Those who feel say if their conditions of service no never ba say no be djuma no after 1 year no say eba na wa be djuma do get you right man ka say yempa mo but those who come right now no remember say they are coming to take your money because they can yen to me nkotwa fufuro. They should come and take it and work once we work on your condition of service into next year no ye di share budget by November December no now next year no I'm sure the government will work on it for you because we shouldn't allow our brothers, our parents to be suffering, our children to be suffering at the hospital like that. When we are talking about community of nations, no, what we can do to push Ghana forward, I think that should be the main issue that we should be discussing. But not what to say that you want to show your strength. We are organized labor. Meanwhile, you form part of the essential services institution in this country. I know there are Muslim conditions of way say if everybody want to talk, we know that obiadi intimidate me pamucho. Try and come back. But some mamba minya one or more retirement come and volunteer. I am very, very sure say Abambema will start at the end of the month so that you take care of Ghanaians for us. It is not good. It is too early for us to start talking about what strike today because 6 months, 5 months, so to say, and labor powers is here. Then we are going on strike. Minya, say nurses for we are. Meaning say me group for so ya teacher for so ya beba
teachers and there
say teacher for we are
my teacher say me hu bibi and my mate tell say you tag so
yes
say e kasa
so was when we no ade no politics when you pay na teacher for ba teacher for pay you tag for so say you teacher for na be say police for ba now soldier force say you see why do we sit down and destroy our own country this way mo obianim say nanado kono ode kan ode jai e kan nanado betu ye no e ye 120 billion nanado be kofie no na nam 700 billion e kan nanado di jai mo won say ye fra mo kan of rata oma adenti no ma osofo pa okoti bible da bia wo parliament ye ka chen so njan no se so mo so yare ntino omma na ye wura fi Solomon na ye wura fi TV so mo susu yare so mo de ombetumi akọ obi de ontumi nko let the person calm down. Nicholas Makase sabrofo dro bisumi na ye ntumi anya djuma na ombra na ye use local herbs na ye mfansa no yare. It should come. these are the issues we are facing. Munas is mutual. Mahama AC first Rich Hospital first phase. And Yabubu second phase. Say omunsi mutu mitina ho nanado ni the former health minister Ajima Menu Munato 8 good years in the Okohwa omudi hwa ye senior staff car park. Omansi mami wa look at the money. So I am asking myself, say, inti Ghana for workers, say NDC for power. Say mube yard omena manaye ya. Enu na yetanya hondi. Obi catch me say, oh, nanado time susunu ye demonstration na ye strike. Good. If you take pen and paper and look at the figures, you are right to go on strike during Nanado's time. Because Kanoforeta yefro somba hanu. Agenda 111 can went to near releases Kasayensi Dino. So why won't you go on strike? Now the person who have built the Rich Hospital and other hospitals are Muye Juma or building after a hospital. I am dear crown or Nunasa Baso Beya Denu Obeya Denu Mukoko Pai. And nothing we bet to your friends we MPP now we see strike. Not that we don't think about you. But think about everybody too. The downtrodden are there. The sick are there. You have to cater for them. How did you handle your nation in your heart? These are the questions we should be asking ourselves. Intermediate me pamucho. But I agree with the minister. Okay. And the excellency. Say let some people come and work. Now conditions of service. And that nobody, I will not agree. Say do you get me right? Yes. But remember, say we check conditions of service. Say 1 year with salary no. Say be ma okra. Ye we mu fa maybe. Na mu nye juma no. Na niaka no no mu fa ma. So that you share. Sharing is caring. And yes, sir. Those are the things we should be looking at. Intermediate misramo. Pa. And one of more body eye juma. Define all odds onyankopon onshramu because these are some of the reasons Rebecca say MPP for na eshechire. Do that right? Because you can just imagine the way they are making noise of 1 cedi. Meanwhile, me to petrol liter 30 Ghana cedis or kroma mankasa 30 Ghana cedis in me above from Sahabe do 10.99 11 12. And I see Yanfa 1 CD, Yanfa Koto Petron Fangu, machine generators akese muno, or Musi, or near Mahama Edienye. Now, all three are there no bar from there. These are some of the issues. In the MPP for Neshe train or Muye Sanya Mano, but they will not succeed. The reason why they will not succeed, and he say, and Nuntina Mr. Attorney General say, me mana po another big nu, omuti omu painted glasses cars munu, and fanko NIB. Muna muti yoko na NIB, senapo baho, bibiki baho, minimsa samu fra fenyo makinu, muma journalist nu, muma information, na muko chua muwa geti, yenfa camera nsio musu, na ebisa muse eba musa na waba asa hanya parliament, na muhu semboni omadi wo energy sector. Today they are talking. Into Mr. NDC for, especially so my senior brother Attorney General. Look, many people for debater. Omu so omu ti say omabo braye na ye ntumi kita energy sector niye. Into said Dubik air come from the questioner. Put it on air. In then Dubik beba 2 o'clock. Na Ghana for MPP for now ebisa mo say e dey na Dubik air kwa National Investigation Bureau. Then we will understand what we are talking of. Say they let a very murky economy. Emma say ndenu ye boka ediagu. So please, Attorney General, I am pleading with you. I don't like, and I want to move back for plea bargaining. Stop. Nobody should come for plea bargaining again. Yes, sir. MPP4, they will not know. They will be asking us again, say, so let us stop the plea bargaining. Don't take anybody's money and say, Manipa nunko court no bia hu ni say oko court na judge nka say sekano ko fabra e ko susu na yeso ya news kakra na manfaati wona muti emia wo Ghana no they will hear what has happened
But today, if you do plea bargain, we allow the big to go to NIB undercover. We allow Napo to go to NIB undercover. No, or China no mba bejina campaign so platform so campaign say omude omaye bonibia omuye mumaye bomu dawo ansa na say bebo mu memudie ma na yebo mu memudie mu. We shouldn't be afraid of the MPP. Nicholas say no answer me the right is anti the same voice over from Kakra. But that is the truth. We must do it that way. NDC should not be afraid of the MPP. They left a rotten economy and we are all suffering. And so we are begging all the unions in this country, give His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a chance to set up things in a better way for all of us as Ghanaians to enjoy. Because see above from dollar sorry see the akosho enya hondi dollar bafom we petrol bafom and our buy so roll out now Monday omutia getting to 1 billion release the district assembly. What do you think about this? Omutem district assembly common fan no mo dey attract no mo why no sa ubehwa no omumum na ekoto ade di koma district assembly as a district chief executives anyhow. No, that thing shouldn't happen. We are releasing and the presidency we should make sure about 85% of the common fund district assembly common fund and come so that they can work. Now this people want the way Omuyeni say nanka energy minister kachire atufo say fast kanuma minami fa nkoto fango do get right and atusu see that be na district assembly say wo hono yan fast kan no nkomo omo a how are they going to run do get right so the best way is to find a way, and this is the good way we have found. Obinimo omudo Ghana man say inka enko 2 cities na ntumi solve your problem. When people from Mubisa mu say na energy sector levy sika mu be GM mu di ye den in there one obi a only mathematics or catch me say ye ja mu 25 billion ka anato mathematics only mathematics and asusu no omususu ukonu omasa ja $25 million ka do get you and am see who need mass because yeja 2.5 billion ekanu na ye di esla ebe revenue ama ye di akiri we asa ye profit ye di aja ho mu ba mu di esla ni di koji loan e di atua di pensioners ka do get me right omu di sika no koji loan e di atua pensioners ka mo ye mo aju say ye di scan be to where di atofango. And today you have the gas to talk. Attorney General me dey Misra pa Daniel Kwesi Ashamani misi munjai ade a yefe no plea bargaining self as kabra na minja no oh se no court no munsu se na court dem sit and I think that will be the best. The big mani nko undercover na po say na po ko betu Gina TV so aka say na po 3 times yes obe Gina TV so aka say no
interview be also invite
no we 3 times
why can't you allow the journalists
say investigate
no see time chikata wa sorry them any so investigation no mago so ma ko team so mumbra no mu ye investigation mu chinkro for we na ye fasina card enu pipa omusi na po na eko enu na bi for be ye di wo krom ha pipi na po na eko pipi dubik na eko pipi afenyoma kineko pipi another pro na eko before they stop talking. And this is what we should be careful. National health insurance, national service.
Mumbro na bonsi o mame no mame. Ye papa mo fe na cha me no tani bi. William na say Elvis ana so for Peter mumbro ye na omon pension. So for Prince no honorable no monsi o mame. Mame nko Kobe Mensa Kobe. Ye hwe next si omuko strike omu chere se niema omuhia ebetumi abo omu motivate omu ma ye adwuma no saa niema no omunya condition of service and aban ne hwe na ontu saa na mo de na woka efa ho
ninia se midi yinia nes for no ya kakra esanse wonso so na ya ni nipa senka o abusuam na abusuan na wo mu no wo futuni wa abusuan mu a utu anamu bi anamu no be affect wankasa wo bedwunu mienu I say, yeah, baby, I'm having a month. You know, I feel back.
5 months.
Now, you're Crophobia, you're nurse for a dinner pa. And then a bima connecting training college, Omutifie, Omunya Jumaya, Imposto. Me Nicholas, no officer or dance man. I didn't chat this saying Nan and Crawford bow with the application letters. They be almost baby Akosha Juma. Koran in Takano, Onabu. Meso down blessing baby do no the obekan wakano
say banning no betina form
yes
no how ni ade na ban na atumi ahwe atoto ni
yes ade a omo be bet me kobi mensa de ka me nko a enka wanya ho a wotumi akotene fie no efie tan de ye wo de omo freeze omo salary na some of the people na omo already say omo pay adwuma ye no ye dem form mra mu no certain post omunko hospitals no mko eduma obi o ha what 3 more than 3-4 years no eduma people waye no I start ka say ohia fuel and this car and this kind of things no condition of the salary no onye eduma bi waye nti we wanyam buru so ntumi nko no ye eno so empanyifo ntrance board of the Minister of Health no omo ntrance no mo nyu nko atiri say dia omu ye bebo man no emo man dia aden na ye omo mutifie ye for mumbra no me adwuma no o ka say maybe etwem bibi sesie ema MPP aban ekofa nkofo fifa one of the country you know kaime Cuba somewhere adwuma o we kai that time for time that was 2007
Cuba we no crowd the President Rawlings time na no more how
yes
Cuban doctors what shall say in a chassis a Kwame Nkrumah no ma ye ne Cuba funya we nti President Rawlings time the late President Rawlings time na wo Cuban doctors what happen
yeah but anyway been MPP time no for time no o ka say next phone ko eduma doctor phone ko eduma omunko ena ko fa Cuba for the shame mo be eduma dan nsem bebre enti mimisa wo MPP been run this nation for 8 years. One hospital in Bomudisi, regional hospital in Bomudisi or more minor. Chem Nicholas, Chem one regional hospital MPP bar power 8 years, no Omusima or minor. Chem Bakumpo. And Samania baby no Juno man or Simama man or India, you'd blow my necessary being a blow miner. And that's how never some strike. Monty MPP time am requesting for this for over 8 years. Omo nyama mo. Na enom control position na omo wies kana ko so mo pass ewie. Ye nyesi company de ye bo man no. Enom control position just 6 months no. Push mu some strike. Enye ewudie ene se because for sebi adwuna wo foma. Enke oba besia tumi ka say wa call for strike into bianco strike. And I'm a babako. Nani
ye ya no two kwan
oh
ko anim
ense unim dia wo ye bia no obraye bo wiase be betia ho kansan yewu
yo yanko anim
enti eno me babako ena nansa ofrem osidadi na o school oni fa osidadi me ho fa me I'm not feeling so I go to hospital okotra ho ma this time doctor bia amba and I may swim drive my coffin no back and I didn't go private hospital. No one says I didn't go back. And to some the Bob Brano and co yintim de coming quanka your man paying John Dramani Mama. On take step. No on poor more or man who do. No from hospital so that they can go and work. And that minia so we shank of a job moment to take advantage. Let me hear press conference. Name ya. Say you won't pay for men. No man, your man, your man, bro. A bin ma se bikafa omuni fatampo ene kohwe dan na de omosisi efie na de omo wo de ko ebo to his na kohwe e dan omosisi wo MPP for no na sa kronfo we ejo mo na mamamu na omo sole sense be na for na se yoko for invite oma na ma yen under carpet. We don't need any under carpet. The institution have to wake up and come up with the press conference say, and then they say this week this is our agenda. We are meeting 3 so and so. NPA boss. Chrono akoswo ni bottom. Masa what say inviting that?
Chrono evidence say former MPA boss wabo chrono.
Masa, men can't just make evidence.
Oh, but
now so chrono down. Masa, let me tell you something.
Single now today. For now, you need BBH.
Nicholas. Nicholas, me a CEO of my group of my company. Okay, I own the companies. I have a workers. I have a managers. So if you are managing one company, if you are. I will take you say, so you have to pay for it.
But the NUC institution in an infant castle.
And I make a say
because a single now you need evidence on the way we are, but your book no one I saw ye. Then you bet me move on. Yanko.
Ye kwa ponchina una we win it here. Why
ko enim.
What I say? Into me accept me can't twinchen. Minya some crofuna na omu but onko yoko. Be na ye me yase. Me no boy itim mensa nam. And e de car cross you onima. Run about your chi it mensa. No much it mensa. Unim
say it mensa why ko enim.
Masa mo chi it mensa. One confirm ko to be a call Ministers Police Station. That was 2002. What kind of stadium disaster? Almost it mensa de bun ko phone the second so much it mensa so too. Tiny nyama boni nyama fie before the year NDC for ya ba power you cover your money ska and naked my report money say na ye job say ye invite mu cool na ya first say we ko yoku na adenti mu ko yoku say papa kan ye nti ho hwe the why na ewo yoku ha ono e communicator yoku they have to be a press conference every day. Or let's say every month. 9 months, no. You pardon mo say nipa 9, 10 ebe ko yoko. You refuse the date so that the media will go there and publish it. And you say you juma na be kwa. And yes sir, obre ya bre, campaign ya ye. Kolosino, krono yemta mo atayifu yenchi mo no ayekwa. The local people at the ground, no, they are waiting to listen to some of the local stations. On the country say, esimesi via sika anaska fanisem apepepe. Who can send people power? Almost say that was 2001. 2001. Yes, you could for him say Ghana deka trillion. Oh pepepe. Chachu katamu no muma wum no mu ye. Minia hwenkrofo omudi ani. You to say mo. Omo che no okowo prison. Chachu kata omo che no ade omo de no aka less than 1 year ko fa ko
Victor Salome crowd saade ya na didi mo
enu na ku no prison sa kofu ya no mo ye ma chachu kata kenya me kan ho a enko wuye o prison but come for so ye mafia at 2017 ku for two kwan that time mo work out chachu kata ko two by force aka less than 9 months na endu akọ position
na do ya
na ku for do no mo chi unim ekakufo nchange nanado the plan of the attorney general that time no person o jeli a former first lady adma kredu mu na di na o somo like o jeli omo and ekufo hwe se na akwane ye rough mafia na no you person call foreign affairs
yes
is it that time no na nke je nanado ko guoman no nti sa kronfo we na so mo be wi skati se ade ba ko hye me kra me da me na de se omo tu ha no mo se no omo kope obi a omo wi o mani skin na obebo mo ban fencing omo se
why
sa we omo ko ti se special prosecutor unim Mrs. Institution ma ngunu this month me come my office because there's no need we don't need it no let me tell you MPP still create and share and mo ko say say ko ni si ho e ko ni si ho e ko a defend MPP still stiffs no protect them.
But I'm a special prosecutor we Juma.
Onya shi wunim
Oye Juma.
Oh yeah. Okasati say someone who is defending criminal at court. When you get to court, you see criminals. No. We have
the kind of rata at relay.
Oh, winning. Azan. The guy communicates with the Kiofrata 24/7.
Oh, but we need evidence.
I'm accept it. Why? Let me tell you something. anoma mutu say I say Kenya Frata ye wanted no azan owo bibi ya enkoko cheese ya depa no wonko jembe bi anka say anka say na fese anko anma dede sem ye mobrowa
ya man kwa mon kasa
na ya baba
member so na me ko
obwa me say mama ngu science institution in because we have Yoko. We don't need this institution. This criminals package. Umako package go say and no na ye dey boy before my you say obi aye dey ko Yoko. Sister the price come ko fire or freezing account I na na those hey man come on so wait give the money back. Wait then ye the crazy at the pana no sound so akoche no wana some crowd they are criminals. And na woni that institution no and yet at the papa na ke fulata evio man say na ye kase me class nka ho see do say 2002 2003 na obi de meka America that time 35,000 Ghana cedi America me sani nyama man no e do bi na odoji me ko ntapo police headquarters that time na no usu nsia ne ho one of David Mami within 5 days na interpo achi pa na be Ghana if the omo kan papa or dad no see say mama nyi na wan fa asem case no doctor nkoma Yokofo I'm telling you say Kofurata inti odi minister for 8 years no wanya leader and
already oye nipa bia to
minya sikomo bia nke sense kan wo hanke de hospital admin nke neso nyunyu adwuma nke etumi de nurse for no kama nyoma kwanim mepa Ghana nurse for chew baby edu no omo call strike na omo return back to their post bibia ma show bia and they have to restore it for them na omani ko nanim say
na minister can say ye no omo betina for my engage omo na omo ha na ban na hwa reset ya omo nti me feel say eno anu no
me person ko for your survey me person you pay for me your survey for all the all the hospital na from the time omo resign omo ko strike no ebepim enne omo check enipa dodo a ewo hospital ho omo show mu kwa no mo hwe from the time nso a na omo ko strike nipa ewuye na value na hwe boni o medi o man no because one knew one obi adwuma no boni e koso ankrofo hwe omo nkwa no obetra je nipa nkwa you can bring them back
meda say Mr. Kobe Mensa na yetene nka no me pa cho bebre adwuma ku bi omo boa ye na be hia say bebo hu dewro ma osu ehu ma eko na Medimosis clinic and herbal center boa ye papa nti sa wo hwe ya Medimosis say men kan cho so the Medimosis garlic capsules abedwaman so Medimosis garlic capsules say boa improve blood circulation e mambo je ne die frusane ye sa so no bi ho se ne nsane ne nan ayetitriti wenye bi ebopo keep cholesterol level no check ni ye ma so cholesterol level no was rebe check no abo papa sa so na ne membo ni pedue na yini na afi ni pedue ebe boost immune system no edi ama Medimosis garlic capsules na make am for the amount ma me papa me nua wo hwe me wutie me utu anamo bi afo ani twere me wo Medimosis asoyi ana bebia eto andro bia no kope Medimosis garlic capsules sebi sa so na be pa cho wo koja ya hwa efra no prostate disorders sexual weakness male and female infertility awo mo problem be ma no ba hypertension diabetes sciatica typhoid fever malaria fever stroke STIs ni na hawa make am for Medimosis clinic di amount me pa cho ho mo cha kwan wa dental barrier opposite the police station Sasona ASL building inside Ghana Highways Authority yard Accra Accra Ministries Ajay Kojo opposite school for the deaf and Sana Kumasa Ahimai Kokobeng Santaso Boase Kwine so 0244 068 447 and that me pacho bibia into me and Konkan Safari Valley Eco Resort na medruso Safari Valley Eco Resort me pacho mo Okre district dewu ho na obehu om wudru ha obehu say no kra 4-star forest lodge resort ha weni beji ye papa ebi ni West Africa ha na wudru ha weni beji ye 24-hour service no mo ye ho time you obedru ho bia no omo be receive as a guest kama na ya hwe yi mo beji ana ye local ne continental dishes wo ho me pacho ye wo bemo accommodation bia obeda we chinka wonan kama rooms in the kama saa so be your private swimming pool kama saa so na echese eniema de where recreational center nti be obetena man frama fa ho me pacho insu bi ho a kana mo betumi atena kanu mu enam so waterfalls bi ho obi hu mbo ahro a yentamfa ani hu mo bi antelope ene eye giraffe mbo ahro ne de bebre na nkasa zebra mu ina no obi hu bi ho a bradre ne nti ase so enti me pacho so ope baby no ne with family anase sebe wadonfo bi akobom ho adwa me kanfo Safari Valley Eco Resort di amo se bi a why wedding mo person ko honeymoon mo person ko parties ni ade ho why not mo for money ntre mo Safari Valley Eco Resort you mo tra kwan wo eye Okre district de wo e ho no be ho mo for reservation wo betumi afre 0596 9143 94 0596 9143 94 no ni Safari for ND enkomo na bibia entumi enkonkan Victory garlic mixture na medro so obi o ana na kuma bon pepe wankasa ha wakuma sito no e abnormal saa so na wonsane wona etumi yetitriti eya na woni so aye kusu me kamfo Victory garlic mixture e de ama improve blood circulation ye papa saa so na ebuani paduan mentwen yare ansa wonya Victory garlic mixture e beboa ma bibia etumi akonkan me pa cho nya na organ ha bibia to andro bia say pharmacy license chemical ana say a herbal shop okwa unsabetumi akebi enkran had open the door ta koton a for any trim wo a Kings Walk Herbal 02012938280 0242545633 na oni penifo ending komo na usu etumi enye bi kama sa Ex natural mineral water insuna yeka ho asem ni so onye bi no me ape bi dom we 500 ml sa so na me pa cho ye wo 300 ml and 350 ml on the ice bono and 350 ml 750 ml no saba mo amaba depo na wo fie ha no 750 ml no bebre aba ente me pa cho bebre wo pensu bi anom wo pe bi ato na wetumi akwakoton a me pa cho wo de wani chrem wo won kran krodiem dia na wo de wani chrem akra ha wo ba osu abebrese street XYZ broadcast ya himfie kese na wa ha no wo ba depo ase wo kasa opanke Roberta duru bi penobemo bi na wetu akoton na wakonom no eye bakon ne ebusuan na akocha anom kama na bibie tumi akonkan saa so na okọ Melcom mo so a wonsa beka bi any shop bi e ben e bia wo pe dodo na nkasa so a wetumi afre factory fo no ne omo adi nkomo we a factory nto fra e bia wo bia car no kra betumi di bia bro 0596 273546 0596 273546 and 0596 273547 0596 273547 X natural mineral water simply natural free na beji bi no ne ebusuafo no entumi enkoton na wonnom na munyam faso bebre monnom kama na bibia entumi endedin enfemo saso na Power Specialist Herbal Hospital na medrus or Power Specialist Herbal Hospital Dr. Ohineyere Akosua Eduya na odano osemen kancho se hepatitis A B C D and E na hawana fatty liver sciatica prostate and asset wonsa na wona na ebu pain ulcer na compo fibro ne hawa me kamfo Power Specialist Herbal Hospital the amo papa Kumase branch no him for Fiyase Lake Busumchi Road opposite Jess Bro filling station Accra kwa Benya Pukwase ACP kwan so saso na takra de branch no Anaji Estate adjacent Anaji MA Primary School obi hu omo ho 0244 544422 and 0200 383831 no ni penifon kasa na bibia entumi enko enkansa Mamembra Studios na mene honorable yentu ankomo no honorable yenhwe energy sector levy any minority on reactions and sema omodi attitude Mamembra honorable
yo for madam wase
I'm some minority no sound the atoso say organize demonstration normal demonstrating
what
we are parliament today to win him wasem yenko enim
wa huni enti a ne yen NDC for ha me
onim
Minya say demonstrate etie for muntie no yi. Inde nienti aye kasa ni say. Energy sector be say ECG be say e ka be ba hon. Eye nipa omu ye mpanyifo a omu di adwuma na enim no. Omu no mu ntumi anhwe adwuma no so yie enu nti na e ka ba ho. Etie for muntie no yi. Energy sector, especially so ECG, and your budget say infimienu. Eje for munju infimienu sika amudi be ye adwuma no about 900 million Ghana cedis. Eje for Andrew 1 billion Ghana cedis. 900 million Ghana cedis. But to be fair, within these 2 years, Eje for almost spending 8 billion Ghana cedis. Eyeka. Omuto niama ye hia no enne. Ebinum 15 years ansa na niama no ye behia. Na se obi te ho. Uwe aduane wafom. Tio ekuane a wo bayere. Ewo efie ana afum. Ena wasa yi sika sa akoto bayere sa de agohwa. Uye kuane ben. We are bronipa. And that is what the MPP have done. Now, one of Mutia Konjasu now winning in that CN. Say a demonstration, say a penny mark in a bedian. A penny mark in no board chairman, a Jeff for Montenuye. Board chairman, ever corporate institutions, omu to me pache CEO cra or tiho. Board chairman, yo can, and a CEO no beye. Enti afenyu makinu onu na eti akonjasu ena ya spend 8 billion we another press bemu ena their I think second deputy whip yes and our first deputy whip me bra offering no for hono yes onu susu akodibi enti mo omo tie ni mu hono another preka ho afenyu makinka ho ena ye ni a oye first deputy a minority whip no onu susu ka ho omu nyina ye adwuma wo ho omu ye adwuma wo ho wienu ye omu kra cables di ba Ghana omayimu cables aye kra no $500,000 no omu di containers no be gu ho saa no enoma auction amount for 400,000 Ghana cedis. Is serious, honorable? Very serious. Enti se mikacho say MPP for be for kukudura enunti no muka sandea. This is the reason. This is the reason. That is what is happening. Ena muya sani nyinanu Mahama wasi atobo gas plant. Yutuminya gas ejaframa edi power machine wajaya mamu. Muba mwanye bianka hu. Usa kofia suswa musa adieka edi atuho enu na mudi ajaho. Many are utemi. The problem we have today nu eye MPP for masoro akonjasu na anu ya. Ana sanfa enukra ensanfa nkotunchen. Na po anka mi bisa se nka esese ondru ede yo contaminate se. Ameri power plant ayefa ba krum ha. Eka yedi asika yedi ato Ameri power plant no. Ni onu ewe na basa baku edi kokumasi no. Ni ewe abasa baku no ni kadosu si eka yedi ato machine ankasa. Na po honorable Matipoku Prempe onu na ye saade no. Baumia ni running mate candidate. Do you get it right? Ubeti susa na baumia susu kasa. Etie for NDC for dia kra na ya no say mu invite baumia go for oil oye no. Nanu mati say the Bank of Ghana governor ebisa say sanse mo mebisa de mi si omu nchire udi esika to gold eyesa ena gold no mudia koma brokers Ghana for mute the MPP ni ba omya ye o omudi koma brokers ya ni podia se ebia okoto oil omuni medwan mu ye enti fa gold no bra na ye be ye
de ato oil na ma na ye due commission now masa gi gold maybe this is what Baumia did now say omo beto oil no wo Ghana no governor of Bank of Ghana Dr. Esiama Johnson Esiama bisa say he fan Baumia this as oil sikanu bikogu account demu. These are the questions. It is encouraged to me if you say anyama Mr. wa me catch us say enyasa me time before inca presidential candidate kura munya wo 2028 enti NDC for attorney general Mr. wa mu invite Baumia number kasa mu invite Anodompre number kasa mu invite Honorable Afenyumaki number kasa Dubik Eko na edebia ombeko honu muma journalist for no NDC omo say adenti na wo ha samre ma ebia nkase se wo parliament ana wo fie wo yiri nche na omo ka asem na yesusu ya te se eye nukra Daniel Kosi Shama eni Nicholas eni minanu ya ntwantro now muye weni nyina wi a ekabaem me ka kira Ghana for say hwe Petro ayedigu car power Petro ayedigu Ameri power plant nu Ghana ye budget nu sa Petro sika bia enim uto electricity a credit na ye didi akoto transformers na ye didi ato cables nu na ye didi ato cars na ye didi atia workers ka na ye didi asidan enu achi nu nie beto Petro nu ebi ni ho enti bebia ne kenofurata eni se onu de onya hu sika mo se wa kapu sika kapu bebia no mu di tofo na do abegina platform so the lights were on they didn't use mathematics or accounting to do anything na anu yinu onobo gina pa ko ka kira tofo se fa sika no mame no na me mfa nko ye djuma amen ko to oil na tofo se dabi mi yesa se na me kadi kan no district assembly no ye beboka
enokra
intese se fa kwambi minia na tofo se oh se ye nyina as Ghanaians ya bombody amma se no si de anya honde moma ye one city mahu nyenta me ka sa MPP for wo be for akukudro one city press conference amu ye okroma na Baumia ko ka se na 8% ye dia su chan ni dia 11% minia Baumia ti akonya su mato a liter of petrol 20 Ghana cedis Baumia na ti akonya su it is a 20 Ghana cedis 4.5 liters no 90 Ghana cedis na me toye in dem koto petrol na ne bua ye de ekwa ne 60 Ghana cedis minia why 63.92 aka 30 Ghana cedis out of this 30 Ghana cedis relief ayanya no yesi yenyi one cedi no na yen fanto petrol ana diesel en fanko gu generators munu sene na njoda ehwi wo ho no ubenya fan bia mana abo mframa kakra sene ehwi wo ho no ubetumi aso fridge no na wanum so nyunum kakra sene ade san no ubetumi aso security light atu ho a ubefia na ndonu so ubetumi apie so MPP for some months ase and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ni trumo audio and na why say na sankaya pese yesusu MPP for hia go and take their records in 2017 by this time can no musha say we are oil 5 million liters of oil na nyamo moye mwati say india yeti hanu NDC na ponti bi accurate scandal vida not at all because we know we must build Ghana. We don't come to destroy Ghana, and that is what we are doing exactly. Into Mr. Ghana for in some MPP for come, but only in Yayamide. Say drivers union. Etia say I'm a minister say up to 16th. Omun church omuna omun cost strike no. Driver unions ni na okrumha. Anyone omuni union, wa muchika no. Midamase because we can't continue like that. It is a MPP for they say, oh, now nurses was strike, and a GPRT for driver union was strike. Na ye de yankan chramu. E di no mo ka chrem. I don't know.
Yamasino, me pewasem papa. Akakakra kwa meka cho say, me pewuche mi Yoruba me pe mi Yoruba cho kakra. Inti niya kan then say, look, don't joke with this MPP people. Hey, Mina Nicola, say who ni MPP for? O say ni who chire no. No, but oh, say where they say Minia, don't listen to them. Deal with them.
Okay, honorable. I say, Kobe, I'm saying, pa. Feche, I got 2 minutes for you, my. Your sector there with Jumanti. For 2 minutes, my copy.
Minia Nicholas. They say, baby, I win. A good mabon pay. Send up a panic. I say, only my 20 is a wabon. Ubo man or man beko ditch. Minia, I didn't petrol and oil and gas. Now,
that's right.
Now, yes, now you say, Nindia MPP for the boy, my own nibi. Ubakai, I'm a power of coffee. Yes, I'm a power of coffee from Kumasi. They call Tapari to Kumasi. Say, fat body, I'm modifying bono, and how much charges saying $350,000. Sad do me can send Napo some friend on no much chinitum. Chrono. Oh, say, Ghana for to Obama, your man paying John Draman Mamma and this because of MPP Chrono Mobueno. This uncle of young Chuman to name Provision Mona Obia who Omukatasen Kankan Chrono Bobo Mana. Omasa Affili boat. I saw Sabika in Krasinyami. Shanana be Momo Bon and bit no grazi say Omquay demonstration tia by Papa we. And that's your petrol price for today. And that's a Nema Ecoso and the Ghana. So we get 2 and a Ghana and then we wait in 1 week. Ewo on man pay John Drama Manabui. Yes, but first we get 2,000 Ghana
within 1 week.
1 week. We get 2 now. Mrs. I check it. Beans. Airfo. Bibi airfo menu. Dokuka about 2 CD. Umpano pedi.
Abro fresh aba.
Sisi minia Ghana who toy you wouldn't see ano. This is when first na me check. Me show be na me check 2 Ghana crown we menu. And I'm try will be 20 Ghana. Oh, that's all I say. Oh, Kobe. Numba job oh. Me achiba nkumaye. Na sankrofo we. Na ama bebo man so man say na say eme hwe they have many ways to kill the cat. I'm coming. They have many ways to kill the cat. Let me tell you something. And then one see them with 2 petrol. So me coming compound. Can you say and this way I was a broker say the petrol price in the bar. Once in the nation, who made them who say once in the nation. The master mana sa adia once in the day being massa. Yeah, they could see a kind of chromusika. Nkofo abo awia koso mudemu no e na ebisi anu kwan nti Ghana fo na say anadwo ya asupa eti asempa say ye mampe John Draman mama ye Ghana ni da so no besebu Ghana GF nkwaso mu egusa ye adwuma mo man kwan ye adwuma no na ye nche leaders no parliament na ngum no mu nyansa no mu nya dede ni ye
okay bedas papa Mr. Kobe Mensa a businessman so na a honorable Daniel Kwesi Ashama acting executive director at the Complementary Education Agency or Kukudami and there omobaya ye no mu di dwuma me am di dwuma di hu cha me ye frame and Nicholas ya wusi also betimi aframe ke Nicholas meba musu a ohene babo ama benie one ye nua ba be poso hima na di news pa e dey brain it's maybe will be stay tuned na tie news fi send some pa ye demasi nyame nham no nko bia ho bye bye.